Yet if there's an insane, violent, drug-induced psychopath with badges and guns, evil people who have perceived power, they can care less about what our rights are. When we encounter the police, they expect compliance, capitulation, and acquiescence. Regardless if we have broken the law, the hypocrisy in the police departments is insane. When Jacksonville police pulled William McNeil over for not having his headlights on during inclement weather, when they pulled the brother over, they didn't even have their lights on. And when the responding officers came to the scene, they didn't have their lights on during the stop. Mind you, it wasn't raining, it was broad daylight. Inclement weather is rain, snow, hail, or anything that will make the road slippery, or any weather that distorts your visibility. That's what inclement weather is. We all know what happened. Though the young brother maintained a composed, respectful demeanor, his window was broken. He was punched in the face. It was a sucker punch. He was forced out of his vehicle, and he was beaten outside of his vehicle also by several officers. This young brother is a college student. He has a biology scholarship. He has no criminal record, not a stereotypical gang member. Again, the cops stopped him because he said his lights wasn't on during inclement weather. Now, the Florida statute says that the motorist must have the headlights on during any rain, fog, or smog. During the weather, inclement weather is not mentioned because inclement weather is a trick. The law is very specific. Police used to they use an umbrella word attempted to cover up all of it while the law is specific. It's also said that headlights should be used during, not before or after rain. During. It has to be raining. It has to be foggy. It has to have smog. During. So if it had been raining and your car still have raindrops on it, that's not during. And the stop is unlawful. Now, most police departments, they like to target so-called gangs. Most police departments have a gang unit, and that's exactly what they are, a gang. A unit that's a gang committing crime on anyone who they encounter. Now, I want to bring my brother OTK to the stage. Peace, my brother. How you doing?
Man, peace and love, my OG, my big brother, brother Nasir, man. Appreciate you for having me on with this.
I appreciate you coming
type
through.
of bill, man. Excuse the raspiness in my voice, man, but this is a touchy subject with me.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Hope all is well with you and the family.
Everything's good on my end, brother. How are you and your family?
Man, beautiful, man. We on this side of the dirt. You know what I mean? Everybody smiling. You know, today been a good day. Tomorrow might be another day.
Indeed.
might not be so much smiles tomorrow, but today everybody's smiling, so we good. The last
especially if you encounter one of them demons, brother.
Correct.
Especially if you encounter one of them. Did you see the video?
Yes.
And I want you to take your time and do a spill and tell me what you think about it. I have video presentation. I have things that we could talk about and give a narrative and react to. I have videos.
And that's what I was about to say. How about you show it and then we react to it? You stop it and we react to it.
Okay. No problem. No problem. Let me share my screen.
That way everybody will be caught up and know what's going on.
Let me share my screen real quick and get to that particular video.
Was you able to find the one from here too?
I had videos lined up, but I'm going to go to the. No, I didn't. But if you want to share your screen and do it, please do so.
Okay.
But let's watch the video first. This video first, and
we want to warn our viewers right now that the video you are about to see is disturbing. A newly released video of a man being arrested during a traffic stop in Jacksonville, Florida in February has prompted an investigation into the use of force used by police during the stop. Now, in the video, you can see William McNeil Jr. being hit in the face and dragged to the ground by officers. In the arrest report, one of the officers said McNeil was pulled over for not having his headlights.
Do you see how they're banging his head against the ground? Over a headlight. This is over a headlight that they said was off during inclement weather. If they are so concerned about his safety and the safety of others, why couldn't you just say, if that's the case? But they're lying. If that's the case, why don't you say, sir, can you turn your headlights on? It'll keep us all safe on the highway, instead of thinking that you have to do what they did. It's crazy.
It's on in rainy weather. Now, this morning, McNeil Jr. spoke out.
That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I knew I didn't do nothing wrong. I was really just scared. And,
hold up. So they knocked this young boy's teeth out.
I want to bring in CBS this press conference from Jacksonville earlier. Elaine, thank you so much for joining us on 24/7 today. Break down the claims from William McNeil Jr. and his attorney about the stop and what police are saying.
Well, William McNeil Jr. saying there.
Brother, if you want me to stop the video, just tell me to stop. If you want to say something, just tell me to stop the video.
I was asking you, so
that he was scared during the stop.
Repeat that.
Did you see how my brother was talking in that press conference versus how he had looked in the car? Did they knock his teeth out?
Yes, they did. When they banged his head against the ground, they knocked his teeth out. And the brother, I think he took some stitches also in his face. All of this over some traffic. Brother, I wish I could have found that video. And while we're watching these videos, I think I'm going to look for it. I'm going to look for the one you sent me. I'm going to look for the one.
To a video of this?
No, the video of the brother who they beat.
Yeah, I got the video. Go ahead.
The brother who they beat for the for not having a seatbelt on.
Oh, a different somebody else.
You should see how they beat him for not having a seatbelt on. This means that if they can do you like that, you're safer driving without a seatbelt going 100 miles an hour than you are with an encounter with the cops. So if you care about this person, simply tell him, either give him that ticket or tell him, look, man, put your seatbelt on, man. That's it. Why can't they behave and act as public servants? That's what they want to call themselves. They want to walk around chest out like they're heroes. Why can't they display some heroism for change? It's not in them. Good have to be in you to come out you.
Back in February, he said that he wanted to know why he was being pulled over. And you can hear him actually on video asking that very question. And that's why he wanted to wait for a supervisor before getting out of the vehicle. Well, he and his attorneys argue that immediately and unnecessarily, the law enforcement officers on the scene escalated the situation very quickly, as you see in that video, when one of them punched through the glass on the driver's side window there and shattered it, and then punched McNeil himself in the face. Now, the attorneys say that he suffered a concussion, a chipped tooth, needed 9 stitches after that altercation. But the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says that the footage itself does not tell the whole story. McNeil was asked 7 times to exit the vehicle, but he did not. The sheriff, T.K. Waters, says that the reality is that all force, all violence is ugly, and just because force is ugly.
Brother.
You were saying something, brother?
Yeah, brother. Hold on. How the police gonna say the video does not show everything when the video is audio video?
You know what he wants to do? He wants to
Create a narrative.
he wants to control the narrative. He want to control the narrative with the videos that he
Correct.
show us, tell us
Correct.
that's the truth. When
Correct.
the video that if it wasn't for that brother's video, we wouldn't even be here as far as a lawsuit. They probably would have killed him, because
Big facts.
I'm going to show you something
Ooh.
that explains why he was looking the way he was looking.
And
From
I
his
advise
point of
all of
view,
y'all out
from
there,
his point of
man, go get y'all a dash cam.
Exactly.
Always protect yourself. Get y'all a dash cam. Get y'all a license plate cam, a rear cam, and get y'all a front cam. Keep y'all car, keep yourself underneath safety, man, for real. Keep everything recorded.
Or
once you tell the police, hey, look, I'm recording, their attitude changes right there.
And sometimes they don't care, brother. Sometimes they don't care because they know this young brother was. Sometimes they don't even care about. They have cameras on themselves and don't even care.
I don't think they knew he had the camera on though, because he had it on the dashboard. I don't think they knew he had a camera on though.
He probably had the the suction dash thing that goes on the window with his cell phone, or he may have a dash cam. I don't know. But I think this is cell phone footage, though. I think this is cell phone.
Right.
Yeah. But
Go ahead, bro. You cooking.
Luckily, he did have a camera, or it'd be a clear case. You know how it goes. They're going to take the tyrant's word over anybody's word. These people are supposed to be public servants, and they don't serve nobody but themselves and their constituents. That's all they serve.
Ugly does not mean it is unlawful or contrary to policy. Mugo?
Still very, very hard just watching that video there, Elaine, as you were speaking. What comes next in this case?
So it's important to note that William McNeil Jr. later pled guilty to resisting arrest without violence and driving on a suspended driver's license. However, his attorneys made it a point today to say that at the time of that plea, they believe William McNeil Jr. was concussed. And so they want to highlight that as something that should be noted moving forward here, that because they suggest he was suffering from that concussion, that is something that needed to be taken into account as that plea was being entered. Now, the officer involved in this is on administrative leave pending an internal investigation. The state's attorney, however, has already said no criminal charges will be filed.
And this is why they have to take this federal. How can they see this and say it's not criminal? Now, if you arrest a man for resisting what? He was arrested for resisting without violence. How can you the man clearly wasn't resisting. The only violence we seen was the violence they was inflicted on him.
Afflicted on him, correct. How is he doing that when he's sitting in his car? He didn't take off and run.
He didn't.
He didn't high speed. That's resisting. He didn't try to break out no cuffs or none of that and then take off. That's resisting. Even after y'all punch him, he didn't even bother to react.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, he couldn't fight back because they straight up ragdolled him because he was unable to fight back. He was unable to fight back.
And the crazy thing is that punch, I seriously been watching that video, dog, and I think that punch came from one of our own kind.
That cop has internal and external complaints on him already. There was a Caucasian, but I'm gonna tell you, but it was some damn niggas standing in front,
Correct.
with the guns pointed at him though.
Correct. I thought one of them was the one who threw the jab through the window, bro. We gotta watch the video again. But go ahead.
It was Bowers. It was Bowers that did it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
The one who's suspended is the one who did it. Is the one who punched him. But the reason why he was looking so shook with his hands up like that is because two self-hating niggas had their guns pointed right at him.
Pointed right at him. That's crazy.
And I'm gonna tell you why, brother. The reason why is when the young brother asked for a supervisor, he called for backup instead.
And guess who was the backup?
He called for backup and said that he's uncooperative and he locked himself in the car. That's why they came like that. You see the way they pulled up? They pulled up like this. They was chasing a fugitive. Somebody who did a heinous crime or something.
Who's the backup, bro? The ones that look like us.
It was a few of them. It was
Yeah.
it was three that looked like us, and it was some more Caucasian cops.
Right. This ain't no different than the incident, brother, that happened when they stopped the dude at the stoplight, and that officer tried to jump out of his car and try to pull somebody out their car, and they pulled off. And all you see is nothing but people like us came, and that dude ended up later dying. After asking them to help him, the ambulance was there and all, and he's asking for help, and they didn't bother to get this man no help. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. They are not on that job to help anybody, in particular, especially not us. Now you can hear white folks getting in their face, saying what their rights are, and getting away with it. I've shown videos where cops were stabbed in the neck and was chased by the police. The police, he had him at gunpoint chasing him at first. Then he put his gun away and pulled out his taser. Now you think if one of us stabbed a cop in the neck and ran off, we wouldn't have got shot in the back? We would have gotten shot in the back, but he put his service weapon down and pulled out his taser and tased him instead of shooting him. Crazy.
Benjamin Crump, the attorney for William McNeil Jr., says as a civil rights attorney, he plans to seek out any and all legal recourse that is available to get justice for William McNeil Jr. and his family.
Okay. Elaine Keano, thank you so much for your.
Now we're going to go to this
band scholarship.
We're going to go to this
excessive force,
interview.
and I am looking
This
at
is an interview.
I see that
It was already in run it back. It's an interview with the sheriff. This Wendell Pierce, waiting to exhale, looking ass dude. He's trying to explain away, making excuses for those officers who beat on the young brother.
To know not to have a reaction one way or another. When you see something, I think the most important thing for me to do is get to the bottom of what happened and why it happened.
Mm-hmm. And getting to the bottom of this proved to be a little bit of a scramble at first. I think you said yesterday you were at church.
Yeah,
I was Sunday.
I was at church and I got a text message from.
Did you hear that, OTK?
Yeah.
He said he was at church and he got a text message about the incident. He was at church.
At church.
And he want us to believe that he believed in some type of spirituality and he can outright lie and make excuse for men who beat on motorists for nothing. But he was at church. Who's the preacher? They shouldn't even allow him. After seeing that, I wouldn't allow him back in my church.
Facts.
I wouldn't allow him back. And the whole city and everybody, if he was a family member of mine, I'll disown him for that, for what he's doing. This is a Negro who think that he has risen above the condition of his people. And he don't even care that young brothers are getting beat up by his cops. You know they do this on purpose, right? Not saying that he or any other brother or sister who's a chief or a sheriff is not qualified, but they really don't want him to be the sheriff, but they'll give him that position so they can run around and do what they do, and they can say they're not racist. We can't be racist because we got a black sheriff. So we can't be racist with a black sheriff. They do this on purpose. They give these people these positions so they can run around and do what they do, and they're willing participants to the demise of their own damn people.
The undersheriff, and I saw it then, and immediately I said, let's get the group together and let's start looking into it and find out what happened if we can,
And
as
so,
quickly as possible.
Sure. And so one of the questions that a lot of people have been asking, in fact, I got an email this morning before we even went on air from someone saying, why didn't the sheriff begin this investigation back when this happened in February? And you did offer an explanation of that last night, but I think it's worth repeating.
Well, you never told us about it. And this is the big thing. When I'm in the barbershop, when I'm talking to people, when we have conversations, please, you have to tell us if something happens that you feel is unfair, whether it's biased or not.
Now, why would that young man bring it to you? So you can investigate yourself and find no wrongdoing. This should have been brought to someone outside of Jacksonville, because Jacksonville, you see the results of it coming out in the media. The results is he's trying to cover it up. So he's saying he never told us. And we wonder why he never told him.
Tell us. Let us look into it. Let us start an investigation. It's big for us to have body cams to help us, at least try to decipher what went on during the contact. But we were never given that luxury. But also, and I think it's important to mention that we've in place. I never wanted to be surprised about something that I see that comes up. So throughout the process, I sat down with our staff and I said, let's put a policy in place to make sure that the first line supervision looks at body cam videos of individuals when a response to resistance report is written. And they did that. There was nothing that you could see on there that rose to the level of a major concern. And because you really can't see the strike inside the window at that point. And I think we covered that yesterday. So that's why it didn't come to our attention any sooner. And then, of course, there was no complaint. I really wish he would have filed one so that we could have looked at it then, because I think it does a disservice to what I believe is the integrity of the agency and how I like to operate openly and on.
Do you think that he's added integrity to the agency by saying that it's not criminal? And when the brother reporter was questioning him about the sucker punch, and he said it's not a sucker punch, and he said they're not going to be criminally charged for punching somebody in the face for nothing. There's no way you can justify arresting someone for resistance with no violence. And he came into jail beat up.
Word.
He came into jail beat up, arrested for resistance with no violence. That means he wasn't fighting. But none of those cops are held criminally. And the one who did it is on administrative leave, vacation. They're not even telling us whether it's with pay or not. They just say he's on administrative leave. because they know what we're going to say. He's on vacation. He gets a vacation for doing that.
Honestly, as possible when it comes to all this information, what I can give you and what I can't give you. I like to be able to do that as quickly as possible. And unfortunately, this time I couldn't.
So I think it would make sense at this point, especially for people who are watching our live stream. I want to take a look at a couple of angles of this incident. The first one being the initial stop by the officer. This is the police body-worn camera version.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you see a wet ground, brother? OTK? I don't see a wet ground. The ground look dry. And I don't see rain on his vehicle either.
Yeah, that looked like a new black tar road right there, bro. That don't look like no gray road that's been wet and turned black. Definitely.
That
got
dry.
new lines and everything. Yeah. Looks dry.
There's a reason why I'm pulling
It looks dry, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not raining. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor.
That's what got the cop mad when he said, call your supervisor.
Right.
This is what
For
got
one,
him
look
mad.
how far he's standing back from the car.
Exactly. Now, it's departmental policy in every police department that if a citizen, a motorist, asks for a supervisor, you're supposed to immediately request for one. But he didn't call a supervisor. He called for backup and said that he's uncooperative and he closed the door. He's locked himself in the car. He's uncooperative. And that's more like of all post bulletin. That's what that is. That's what he called out of APB. And
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And those cops came swarming.
Right. Like why he ain't drive off? If he lock himself in the car, why he ain't drive off?
Exactly. So
you ain't
therefore,
you ain't reach in there and take the key or none of that. So
exactly.
Oh, that's just crazy.
He didn't get a chance to do that. He didn't get a chance to do it because when the young brother felt that that the cop was escalating when they're supposed to de-escalate, he just closed the door.
Right. I better protect myself.
Exactly. He got a right to do that.
Right. Damn. Go ahead.
Why did you pull me over?
35. I'm fucking driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No,
step out of the vehicle.
This is not a step out the vehicle situation.
Right. For one, you're not even supposed to grab my doorknob.
Exactly.
If somebody else grabs my doorknob like that, I got the right to shoot them because I feel threatened.
Exactly. Now,
go ahead, bro.
He closed the door because the cop was escalating. He had a right to do that. Now, what's supposed to happen is he's not supposed to go back and forth. This is a unlawful stop. If he's going to do anything, he should be issuing citations, even though citations would be wrong. But for the sake of argument, that's the most that was supposed to have been done. Tickets.
And
but
we got to still see the cause of him getting tickets.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. They would have been thrown out in court. They would have thrown it out in court.
Everything would have been thrown out. Correct.
It'd have been thrown out in court. But they didn't want to do that. They don't have it in them to just serve the public. They want compliance. They want capitulation. They want you to listen to them. They don't care if they're unlawful orders. They want you to obey. That's what they want. Obey them. Forget the law. Obey them.
Okay, so for folks who are watching, or who are not able to watch, that was the police body-worn camera of the initial traffic stop, and it shows William McNeil, who is the driver, basically refusing to comply with an officer's request and pulling his door shut and locking it. So there was a kind of an exchange that went on for some period back and forth. But the next video we're going to watch is of the inside of the vehicle. This was taken by the motorist himself on a dash cam or cell phone camera propped up. And we're going to take a look at what happened when the officer eventually responded and broke the window.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Okay. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
You see how impatient and intolerant these people are. While he's talking to the other deputy on the passenger side, they're making the decision to break the window. Watch this.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
You see the same one who broke the window added insult to injury, because I'm sure he was injured by some of that glass. Punched him in the face, sucker punched him. And this is a sucker punch because he didn't even see it coming. It more than likely didn't hurt him because he hit like a sissy, but he still punched the man. He still punched him.
That's what pissed him off even more, that he ate that punch.
He ate the punch.
He ate that punch, and that's what even pissed him off more.
Exactly.
He was looking for some kind of feedback, like for him to get hostile and start throwing punches back, or for him to go to sleep. But ain't none of the two happened.
But they beat him anyway when they pulled him out, though.
Beat him anyway, bro.
Show me your hands.
Here. I'm here. What is your reason, sir? What is your reason? Step out now. All right.
Look at this.
No.
See that?
All right. So that's
Now this is who they hire to so-called serve and protect. This don't look like serving or protection to me. And look at the 300-pound nigga standing there, bro.
Standing over like master.
And he's cussing him, asking him what, I mean, he said, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" If you see the video, you know, I don't know if they're gonna let that part play.
that's the takedown. And we know that he reported an injury to his mouth. He said that his tooth was chipped and that his tooth kind of went through his lip, and so
His tooth went through his lip when his head was banged against the ground 3 times. That's when his tooth went through his lip.
Yeah, see, I want to see the body cam outside the car.
They're not going to see, bro. These people are so wicked. You can't even see that.
That's gonna have to come out.
It's going to.
It gotta come out.
See, what's crazy about that? What's crazy about that? The sheriff said something.
We can actually file for the release of that information.
A FOIA request, right?
Right. We can actually file for that information.
Yeah, it's the Freedom of Information Act.
I see they got Crump. Now, if they take this civil suit, which he's a civil suit lawyer, if they take this money, then it will be probably up underneath the gag order.
But you know what, though? Yeah, you're right. You know, he'll get paid and that'll be it. And I'm so against that, bro, because you know why? Because the behavior will continue, bro.
Word, man. That stops so much of the movements that was going on when the unity or whatever was going on. That money, taking this money, man, was off the chain. And shout out to that family. Man, I can't remember their name. whose son died, they didn't take no money.
You talking about Trayvon Martin?
Yes, they didn't take no money.
They got money, bro. Trayvon
That's
Martin
when they
got
stopped
money.
at first. But see what's crazy about it is, oh man, that's crazy that they took the money, because you will hear these people advocating, oh, my baby, my baby. Then all of a sudden you hear them advocating, I just want the streets to be safe. I just want all of us to come together.
When they had that talk,
don't hear from them no more.
Just when they had that talk, they came to them and made them an offer. And that's when they want to calm the streets and everything.
Right.
When you can tell when they took the money, because I'm going to call it, for the sake of, their rhetoric calms down.
Correct.
The rhetoric calms down. They don't be as adamant about getting justice, the type of justice that's deserving in those situations. They calm their rhetoric down and they tell people, they do the Rodney King, can we all just get along thing. And
right. But this is a little different though. You become rich over your dead child.
I'm just against that. I believe they should be compensated.
I'm against that too, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
They should be compensated.
I would rather have a scholarship in that child's name. I would rather have some kind of bill or some kind of right pass in that child's name rather than taking the money, bro.
A law, really.
I can keep advocating. I can keep saying what I want to say. Nobody can shut me up.
See, the money, I think people should be compensated with the money, but it should be both. It should be that the cop get fired, prosecuted, and go to jail. It shouldn't be one or the other. Okay, you take this money conditionally. I disagree with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be no conditions on taking the money. It should be okay, because just like they did with OJ, OJ was found not guilty, but he was sued in the civil court and lost, and they took everything from him.
Just like your boy Bill Cosby, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
It should be tried criminally, and it should be tried. The case should be separate.
Separate.
Civil court and criminal court, they should be separate. They should not be together.
You can get found not guilty in criminal court, but then get found guilty in civil court.
That's the truth, because they hold you responsible for it after telling us that, we had nothing to do with what happened in the past, and being in a privileged position today because of what happened in the past. They always tell us we wasn't around back then, but your family is in a privileged position because of what happened in the past.
Right.
So you're responsible.
You're totally all responsible, bro.
You're responsible. Your family's responsible. They love to tell us that, we didn't do this and we didn't do that. But if you go back and look on how their business and stuff was established, and how it was established, you can see that they did some dirty things to people to establish their establishments.
Go ahead, bro. You cooking.
Is treated for that. This second angle shows, I think, what people have found.
See how big those brothers are? Well, I'll say brothers with quotes. They're not brothers of mine, because if you do this to a brother, you're not a brother of mine. These niggas are, you see how big they are? That's probably about
big facts. All them boys damn near 220, 240 and above, bro.
That's about 1,000 pounds worth of man beating on that little ass brother. At least 1,000 pounds worth of man, because those two brothers is 500 pounds at easy.
And he looked like he about 190, 185 with his height. You know what I mean?
Exactly. If he's that.
That's crazy work.
If he's that.
Found, objectionable is the strike that the officer does of his face. He punches through the glass. He breaks through the glass, and then he kind of punches through and hits Mr. McNeil in the face. I think the question that I have about that is the fact that that strike isn't mentioned in the police report. It isn't mentioned in the response to resistance report, and it isn't mentioned in any of the supplementals.
What does that mean, OTK? That none of this was mentioned. None of this was mentioned. What?
That means they're hiding it, bro.
Yes. And they falsified their reports. All of them.
They falsified their reports.
That's what that means. All of them. It's exactly what that means.
On administrative leave.
Everybody involved should be.
Everybody involved
should be in trouble.
Big fact.
Because they falsified the supplementals, the primary report. They falsified all the reports.
Word.
Wasn't mentioned.
I hate to say this, but one thing I agree about that book, the Bible, bro, that eye for eye. Boy, when that was in play, bro, that kept people at bay.
I agree with it.
Go and do nothing out to nobody if you don't want it done to you or your family.
I agree with it because it's like this, like that. Butter for the fat. You kill my dog, I'm gonna slay your cat. I'm putting a damn vacuum in the fish tank, bro. Straight up.
I'm strong-hearted about that eye for eye, bro. I swear on everything I love, bro. I was raised that way.
Be blind and toothless, everybody.
Word, cuz.
Blind and toothless.
Or the supplemental that was released to that report. And so can you explain why that would be, that initial strike would not be reported?
So what I'll tell you this, and when we talk about this case like yesterday, there's a criminal aspect of the case, and that's where we start. Whether it's an officer-involved shooting, a use of force case, we start at the very top.
If they're starting at the very top, the criminal element, and they can clearly see, to me, breaking the glass was excessive. Calling for backup was excessive. Those two were excessive. Not just just breaking the window and punching him, because he didn't need backup for that. These dudes is just like the dudes in what's that? What was that? What Tyree Nichols was killed at? Was that Memphis? Was that what was that at, brother? Memphis, right?
Yeah, Nichols.
Tyree Nichols, the brothers that the five nigga cops who beat the brother to death. That was Memphis, right?
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. I think
they're running around just like them. Those cops. They're running around just like them. The only difference is just right. It's a mixture of different ethnicities on that team.
Right. Yeah, that's the story I was talking about earlier, right? Where the other kind had stopped them, but he called for backup, and it was all our color that came and did that to him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
They beat the brother to death. The young brother that brother probably weighed about 135 pounds, bro. Easy. And where they beat that brother was a damn shame.
Word.
But they're running around doing the same thing that those cops from Memphis are doing.
But because you know what's crazy, bro? The first thing came out, this dude right here mouth is said, when it's a criminal case, how is it criminal when the brother didn't do nothing criminal?
Yes, exactly, the criminal element. But I think
a little bit when you go back after you finish, rewind it back a little bit and watch out. Listen how he start with this and say it's a criminal.
Of his face.
Okay.
All the whole stuff. Go ahead, bro.
But what I think he's talking about is the criminal element concerning the officers, because the officers were cleared of any wrongdoing in a preliminary report, brother. That's what's crazy about it.
He punches through the glass. He breaks through the glass, and he kind of punches through and hits Mr. McNeil in the face. I think the question that I have about that is the fact that that strike isn't mentioned in the police report. It isn't mentioned in the response to resistance report, and it isn't mentioned in any of the supplementals, or the supplemental that was released.
The response to it wasn't mentioned in a response to resistant report, and that's real problematic because he was charged
Right.
with resistance with no violence. So why wasn't we beat his ass in that
Right.
report?
Right. Now watch this now. Watch how he dodged the report when he comes out. He ain't even gonna answer that question. He turns it to a whole nother scenario.
Yeah,
Watch this, bro. Go
he
ahead.
dodged
Watch
it. He dodged it.
To that report. And so can you explain why that would be, that initial strike would not be reported?
So what I'll tell you this, and when we talk about this case like yesterday, there's a criminal aspect of the case, and that's where we start. Whether it's an officer involved shooting, a use of force case, we start at the very top. We look for criminal violations of Florida law. And then we go through the administrative process. So he's going to have to answer those questions through the administrative process, which is difficult for me to talk about because I can't discuss, and I know people get frustrated with me about this, but I can't discuss an administrative investigation because of the rules that are in place in Florida statutes. Officers have Bill of Rights. Yesterday,
whoa. Y'all are public servants. Everything that y'all do supposed to be coherent and supposed to be elected for the public to see. We're paying y'all. How
Where's
you
the
mean you got to
transparency
hide something? What you got to hide? What you can't talk about?
Where is the transparency?
Where is it at?
Everything out from the criminal element to the departmental element, that's all supposed to be public knowledge.
All supposed to be public knowledge. The only entities that don't have to provide public knowledge like that is these created entities, the alphabet boys, the two sets of the alphabet, because they're created entities. They're not even real entities if people don't even know it.
Exactly. But he think people don't know the law. But you know what? He gonna get ate up, brother. That cop who did that is gonna get ate up when they do the deposition. When William McNeil's lawyer questioned him, they gonna eat his ass up because he said something that's I would love to see the deposition from when he go before the department, like internal affairs.
Yeah. We definitely got to try to.
We gotta check that deposition out.
Be able to get it. We'd be able to get it now.
Yeah, I mean, because it's going to be public knowledge and it's going to be recorded. You know, it's going to be recorded. So we're going to need that deposition. I want to see when Lee Merritt and Benjamin Crump question this dude.
Right. We definitely need a follow up
and ask him, why did he punch him? Why do you feel it was good to punch this young man? Why did you punch him?
With his hands up.
Why you felt that it was necessary to punch somebody that wasn't even looking straight ahead? Because
I was about to say, bro, if I was Crump, I would take this as the way that he punched him with his hands up and not even looking at him ain't no different than getting shot in the back.
No different.
No different, bro. What you think?
I think because a sucker punch, brother, if you're not squaring off, you don't even know you're in a fight, and somebody punch you, that's a sucker punch. But he said it wasn't.
And that sucker punch in your life sometimes, dog. I don't see people die from a sucker punch, knocked out from a sucker punch because they're not anticipating it. It's no different than a police not being able to shoot somebody in the back. Shout out to George Floyd, man. Shout out to, you know what I mean, my people's them over there on Remount, man. You know what I mean? That brother gets shot in the back out there, man.
Laquan McDonald was shot in the back by that cop. He was shot in the back and shot like shit. He put all the bullets in him. He shot him twice, and then when he went down, this was in Chicago, and shot him like 14 more times, 15 more times while he was down, bro.
Damn. Yeah, I don't see him. Wow, shit. These boys jumping on top of the car hood and shooting through the windshield. Rest and you know what I mean, live in peace to the young brother in Chicago who was just walking around in the street. You know what I mean? And them boys holy him up.
What about
All
the sister who was shot in the face out there?
Man. All them boys emptied a clip on him.
It was a sister shot in the face out in Chicago too. Cop just shot her in the face. Just shot her in the face.
For example, to release that body cam, we had to get consent from him to be able to do that because he is the subject of an investigation at that point.
Did you hear what this nigga said? He said, in order for his body cam footage to be released, they have to get permission from the officer. The one who punched the brother. They got to.
Whoa. That was
let me rewind it back, bro. Let me rewind it back. That's what he said.
Cause of the body cam, though.
Call for me to talk about because I can't discuss, and I know people get frustrated with me about this, but I can't discuss an administrative investigation because of the rules that are in place in Florida statutes. Officers have a bill of rights. Yesterday, for example, to release that body cam, we had to get consent from him to be able to do that because he is the subject of an investigation at that point. So it's difficult to tell you. So those are answers that we're going to be looking for in the administrative process.
And you said yesterday the state attorney's office looked at and criminally cleared him of his actions.
Yeah, they saw no violations of Florida law.
Okay, and so now
it's not.
What the hell?
unlawful.
So now we know that this thing is bigger than the sheriff and it's bigger than the police officers. So you got this union, this lodge, this police fraternity. You know what I mean? And Sister Nisha dropped something in the back too. She said it was other footage too, brother. That's my Sister Nisha from Unscrambled Minds.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We screaming on both sides. I'm on my side. I'm really on Brother Nasir's side, y'all. But we on my side too. We dual screaming right now, y'all. You know what I mean? Yes. So y'all make sure y'all come on this side and subscribe to Brother Nasir. The enemy's public, man. Good brother. This is the type of information in the building that he does. He specialized in this. You know what I mean? And being in that field of protecting people, this right here hit a little different for him when you're supposed to be in the business of protecting people. And then you are harming the people that you're supposed to protect. So this hit a little different for Brother Nasir because I'm an artist. He will be my protection.
Exactly.
So we're looking at it like, damn, I let this happen to OTK.
Look,
you understand what I'm saying?
If I'm protecting you, bro, if something happened to you, that means they had to get me first. They must have got Nasir first because they got OTK. They got him first. And my team, when we was doing it, we were serious about what we did. We trained for it. We worked out and we trained together. And when we did whether it's a celebrity or a dignitary, whoever it was that called us to protect them.
Right.
In order for us to do the event, we had to have a search procedure. So therefore, if anything happened, it's going to be hands. And trust me, we handle that.
Right. You got to knuckle up. Right.
It's not going, it's not, people, unless people go to their car and stuff. But you know what? Look, we had them too, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had them too.
Right.
Only difference between them and us, we went to the range. That's the only difference.
Practice.
That's it. We went to the range. And guess what? Trust me, when I look at you and put my hand on my hip, I already got you.
I already know exactly where I'm gonna pop you at.
Exactly. Once I pull that up, I already got you.
I already know where I'm gonna pop you at.
I tried so hard to not do that. That's not something that I wanted to do. You know why? Because I was dealing with my own.
Right.
So, You know, we use diplomatic measures when we dealt with our own people. You know what I'm saying? We searching, we talking to them, even when we break the fights up and throw people out. We talking to them on the way out, bro. You can't be spoiling everybody else's time. You know, we got 1,000 people in this place. Why you acting like this? You can't come back in. Come back next week. Because we had like contracts. We had contracts.
Women, dog, how can you be mad and all these women in here? What is wrong?
We was on it like that too.
Word.
Why you mean mugging the dudes, man? Once you just
mugging the dudes, dog, all these women in here.
Exactly.
Right, man. Yep. Shout out to Hiker, man. Shout out to Mouthpiece. Shout out to Cosmon, man. Yeah, we over here on Brother Nasir's side, man. You know what I mean? Kicking it with the enemy's public, man. Real good brother. Y'all know him from me having a show with him on my side with the DJ and the starting of hip hop, because he was there. You know what I mean? I don't go too much into that because we on a serious matter. But yeah, this my dear brother Nasir, man. Y'all make sure y'all come and subscribe to this brother. Always got good shows. Y'all go check out all his past shows, his shorts. He always dropping some fire shorts. Sub up, man, for real. Sub up to this brother, man. Shout out to Big Dog Philly OG for getting me in contact with this brother right here, and Greedy and all the rest of them brothers there, man. I appreciate that, man. And I don't know what the brother seen in me, but shit, he started calling me little brother. So from that point on, my mind frame has been different, because I'm like, okay, it's older people out here who really rock with me.
Yes, sir, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
We talk at least once a week. We gonna call each other. Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Each other. And we be on the phone with Dan in 2 hours.
Yes, sir. I mean the chop up, brother.
Right?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, man. Peace and love to you, brother.
Policy violation. I guess my question to you is let's speak hypothetically. If you strike a suspect, or you strike someone in an incident as an officer and you don't put it in a report, is that a violation of policy?
Could very well be, yeah.
And what would be the...
Why don't he just answer a question straight up? Could very well be. Is that, as someone who's the top administrator, he sure is clueless to be a top administrator. He should know all of this. Whether it's or not, he should be able to tell her outright whether or not it's a violation of departmental policy. No guessing.
So you think he protecting himself?
I think that, I think if you took this sheriff to New York, you'll be able to get on the subway with him. He's a token.
Wow.
You can pay to ride the subway with him because he's a token. Again, he's probably not even qualified to be a sheriff. He's probably just like David Clark.
My brother Nasir say he's a token.
Ride the subway with him. He's probably just like, they will find Negroes who are willing to do it because his past is corrections. He worked in corrections too. I did a little research on him. His past is corrections, and I don't think he's qualified to be an administrator. But they'll choose somebody like him because he's willing to turn a blind eye when shit happens. He knows what was done was wrong. He know he got marauders running around Jacksonville doing what they're doing. He knows this, but he's going to try to protect them. They're busted now because the young brother had a camera, and he's still trying to tell us we're not seeing what we're seeing. He wants us to believe the videos that he put out, and they're probably redacting and cutting up, chopping up, but we'll be able to tell. They just expect us to be stupid.
penalties for omitting a fact like that?
It could range from a written reprimand. It's maybe a suspension. It just depends. But it's hard for me to say what it is until the.
What would happen if he had punched the cop in the face? Whatever would happen to that brother for punching the cop in the face is supposed to happen to that cop. Especially if he was arrested again for resisting. He said that you cannot resist the police. That means whatever the cops say, even if it's unlawful, he expects you to do it. And when it clearly states that you don't have to obey unlawful orders or requests, you don't have to obey them. But this sheriff's telling us that you have to.
Investigative process, excuse me, internal affairs gets finished with their investigation, and they come to me with a conclusion. And I have the right to not like their conclusion. I don't have to necessarily accept it.
And if internal affairs come back with, okay, we want to terminate him or whatever punishment they have for him, I believe this Negro would say, no, we're not going to punish him for that. I don't care what the people say. But the problem I have is he's allowed to walk around there. He's allowed to go back to his church where he go to church at. He's allowed to go back among the people while he's doing what he's doing. That's the problem I have. If you own a store, wherever he goes, just tell this bastard he's not welcome. Turn him away from the church. Find you another church. Go to church with them white boys. Go to church with them. That's who you with. Go to church with them. But you know what? He probably go to a white church. You never know. I don't know. And what's crazy about it, OTK, his wife works for the state attorney. So it's a bit of a conflict of interest also.
But I think the best way for us to do this is let the investigative part play out. And listen, I think I've shown many times over, and anyone that's completely honest will see that we don't have a problem arresting a police officer that violates the law. None whatsoever. And in this case, to satisfy some of the masses on social media, the easy thing would have been saying, yeah, we're just going to arrest him. That's not how we operate. I sat down with my team yesterday. I said, we're not here to clear him. We're not here to clear him. We're not here to convict him. We're here to get the facts, run through the facts, let our state attorney and her employees take a look at it and make a determination from that point.
Do you believe that the reason that the initial strike that we see on the dash cam video was not in the reports was because it isn't visible on the police body cam version?
I don't.
Yes, they didn't know that young brother was recording. They didn't know. And they thought they was going to get away with it. The young brother held it since February. And as soon as he got his belongings back from them in which they held, he put it out.
I think so, but I'm not sure. I think we're going to get that answer. In an administrative investigation, an officer cannot lie.
An officer cannot lie. That's a lie itself. Because the police are allowed to lie, and they mostly lie. I could say with honesty, 97% of police encounters is under false pretense, and they lie to jam people up. At least 97%.
So I think that part of that process will come out, and we'll find out.
All right. We are talking to Sheriff TK Waters about a viral video of an aggressive arrest by JSO officers, and you can join our conversation at 904-549-2937. You can also email firstcoastconnect@wjct.org, or you can reach out on social media. I'm going to take a call from Representative Angie Nixon. Good morning, Representative Nixon. Thanks for joining the program.
Hey, Ann. Good morning. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
So I wanted to reach out because I've sent emails and sent texts requesting a meeting, but this may be the only time that I'm able to talk to you. Wanted to know, are you concerned with the perception that your department, your office, as well as the state attorney's office, is biased, seeing as your wife serves as one of the chief investigators in the state attorney's office? And then I am interested in you letting us know whether or not the officer's body cam footage was turned off during the time of the arrest. And then finally, at what point do officers with multiple complaints, like this officer has had in the past, like at what point are they reprimanded or released from the force or whatever? Because there's a lot of folks in the community are really upset because this officer has had multiple complaints against him for excessive force, and we see it finally because this young man actually captured the footage. But there may not be any footage, and he may have done something similar. And so that is our concern, and I would love for you to address that issue.
So the first question is concerning my wife. Don't really know what she has to do with this, but my wife is a director of investigators at the state attorney's office. She has no involvement in decision making. She handles the investigators. So there's the answer. I hope that's clear enough. But she's a professional. She has nothing to do with decisions made by attorneys and the state attorney who's elected by the members of the Fourth Judicial Circuit. And there's my answer is concerning her. It's kind of weird that she comes in into.
How is it weird when state attorneys cover things up all the time? If you go down to if you go up to Brunswick, Georgia, Jackie Johnson tried to cover up Ahmaud Arbery's murder, but it came out. The state attorney tried to cover that up to keep those racists from being charged. So state attorneys and chief investigators and directors do cover things up. And if it is covered up, it's under the direction of the director. They say action and they say cut. That's what a director does.
To this conversation. Second question was, and can you help me remember?
Well, just about the community perception of bias, and she also talked about previous, complaints on this officer. I should say, as she said, that there had been some complaints about excessive force, and I am looking at his investigative history. I see that there were some sustained complaints for unbecoming conduct and failure to conform to work standards. I don't know if those initially began as use of force or.
So if he has those type of charges on him, why is he still running around punching people in the face? And there's several incidents involving the same cop. That means that he's a liability. See, I've always said, now, when this brother wins this lawsuit, he's going to win. The money's going to come out the taxpayers' pocket.
Big facts.
I don't like that. What they should be doing is finding out who bond the cops' pistols and who insure the police department and sue them and make that department a liability to the insurance company, because if they got to keep paying for lawsuits and people being killed by cops,
right,
they'll drop them as a client. They'll drop them. See, they're suing the department, and the city and the people is giving them the money. And it's not coming out the police department's budget.
Right.
The police don't care about that. Do you think cops heads wouldn't roll if that money was coming out their budget?
So you need to be suing the FOP,
the Fraternal Order of Police, but you have to sue the union, and you have to sue the insurance company that bonds them, that because every pistol is bonded, and the insurance company that insured the department itself, because the department can't even run without being insured.
Big facts.
You can't even run, so they need to sue them.
Are they federally insured, brother?
No, it's not federally. It's not. It's they have it's because, for one, it's not a federal agency, because police departments are municipal.
Right.
They're municipal.
Right. I was just wondering, because would they be funded by the feds on the back end, on the administrative side?
The money comes from they have a budget. They have a budget for whatever municipality is in a city, and that city, and it comes from the city. Okay, this is our police budget. This is this budget. This is that budget.
Right.
This is for housing. You know what I'm saying? We got this amount for police. But if you sue the police and win, none of that money that's going to the person who won the lawsuit is coming out of their budget. It's coming out the tax the city has to pay. And that's taken from the taxpayers. That's why I say they should sue the insurance companies and make the police department a liability to the insurance company, because they have to keep paying for, people for being sued.
Mm-hmm.
And people winning millions of dollars. And, even when they kill somebody, people are winning millions of dollars. Even when they're beating people, they're winning millions of dollars. Insurance companies, they don't be banking on paying out, bro.
Right.
Insurance companies don't like paying out.
They don't like paying out. They don't like
that.
They don't like that. All
they like collecting your money, but their paying out part, they don't like that.
And they'll be there on time every month. Every time on month, you got to pay. But boy, when it's time for you to collect from them, they give you, boy, you got to wait 6 months.
Exactly.
You got to do this. And for somebody in the chat, man, ICS HQ, you know what I mean, with that qualified immunity and hiker. That's something that Trump gave when the people voted Trump in. And I did a show with Big Dog Philly OG about that, like all y'all Trump supporters.
You mean indemnifying the police?
Right. All y'all Trump supporters. Don't y'all know he said that when the police shoot somebody now, they ain't going to be prosecuted?
He said he's going to indemnify the police because the lawsuits and the protests, and he wants to give the power back to the police, basically to do what they've been doing since he's been back in office. I don't. He's lawless himself. He's lawless himself, bro. I don't rock with no politicians. I don't care left or right. I don't rock with no politicians.
Right.
I could care less.
That's crazy though, bro. That's crazy though. That's a slap in the face. That's a slap in the face. Y'all steady voting for this man for money, thinking y'all can get another check.
But you know what though, bro?
The economy was good. But y'all ain't know y'all was also voting to say if this motherfucker shoot your fucking child in the goddamn in the streets, dog, he would not be prosecuted.
Brother,
if the state kill it, that's a wrap.
Some people will sell their very virtue, brother, for a little of nothing, and that's what whores do, bro.
But what Trump gave out though? What Trump gave out since he been in the chair? No, remind you, we only 3 to 4 months in. Look at all of the stuff that he has done.
Brother, that's what a F up do.
What the hell?
When you have an imbecile, lawless person, that's what you get, and that's what we're witnessing. And I would never put my faith in a politician. Never. I will put my faith in alike minds, getting with brothers with alike minds, and let us handle business. And what's going to start happening if they keep running around in Jacksonville doing what they're doing, they're going to run into the wrong person, which will be the right person one day.
Correct.
Let them keep doing that. Let them keep doing what they're doing, running around punching people in the face, stopping people for nothing. They're gonna be a Darren Jarrett down in New Mexico. They're gonna be that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be Darren Jarrett. If you don't know who Darren Jarrett is, watch my video about Darren Jarrett when he pulled over somebody, and because the people looked like him, his flags didn't go up. But if it was one of us, he'd have drew his gun. He looked and saw automatic weapons sitting on their seat and didn't think nothing of it. And when he walked away from the vehicle, they lit his ass up.
You need to repost that. Word.
I think I'm gonna do that.
If not repost it, you can show that with this. It all goes along with this right here too, bro. I swear it do. But go ahead, brother. You cooking. I know you're gonna get back to this video. I'm sorry, man, but you know your conversation.
Don't worry about it, brother. We conversating,
like
brother.
Talking on the phone, bro. The conversation always good, bro.
Yes, sir.
Complaint from a citizen.
I mean, not typically. It could be. I haven't looked at the specific details of his concise, but I'll answer like this. Perception is, I realize, it's 100% reality to a lot of people. But there's a perception also out there that we're not biased against anyone, and we're not. I can tell you, I've worked here for many, many years, probably as long as Representative Nixon has been alive, and we've had a lot of trying times in this agency, and we've worked extremely hard to be as open and as honest with people. And had I known about this previously, if he had filed a complaint, I showed it to you earlier. I mean, why not? Why not get it out? Anyone that is interested in knowing that we are operating and we are making every attempt to operate above board so everyone gets a chance to see would know that that's how I operate. I answer to a higher authority, and it's not just the people of Jacksonville. I believe solely that my responsibility, and I'm allowed to be here and to run this operation the way that it's supposed to be run. And thirdly, what was the other question? There's a lot. There's three of them, I think.
The officer conduct. I think that's all that I have.
Yeah. So the officer conduct, there's always.
I mean, we should say, to her point, I mean, there was concerns about the video being shut off during the stop. And then there was the concern about this officer's prior involvement. We do know, other than these, complaints that I'm citing, that he was involved in the Florida, Georgia video that went viral of an officer punching someone in the stands.
Right. The officers, so the Florida, Georgia video, he was
involved in another incident where a man who was at the Georgia, Florida, I forgot what game. I think it was a football game, and they asked him to leave, and the man refused to leave, and they just beat his ass and dragged him out of the stadium. So he's not a stranger to this type of behavior.
There at the one where there was a larger white male that was involved in something, and where we had the officer that got into a fight with him. He was there. He used a taser at that point. Some of the other things, there are things that we have called progressive discipline. And when you work these cases, I know it's what people like to see is no due process for police officers. But when you work these cases, you have to use a progressive discipline standard, and you have to move up from there. And when you get to a certain point, the undersheriff.
Do you know what he means when he say progressive discipline?
Progressive discipline.
That means allow him to keep fucking up. That's what that means.
Correct. Until you kill somebody.
Exactly. Allow him to keep fucking up. That's what progressive discipline is.
Oh, Lord. Progressive discipline. Oh, my God. That's
until
the
he end up killing somebody, and then you finally suspend him.
prison. Yeah, that's the school of prison pike system too. Just let the kid keep fucking up in school, dog, until instead of getting him help and trying to get him help or finding out what's his problem, keep letting him fuck up because y'all already know he's probably gonna end up in prison.
Yep, that's what it is.
Crazy work. You cook. Go ahead, brother.
Sheriff and I make a determination of whether someone should be terminated or not, and then after that termination's put in place, the officer has an option, and their option is a disciplinary hearing board or a civil service board, and that civil service board is made up of civilians, not police.
But you know what, though, bro? I'm just thinking progressive discipline and not disciplining cops altogether is what caused our sister Sonia Massey to be killed last year. Because
big facts.
Because that dude Sean, what's his name? Sean Grayson, he was on 6 departments in 4 years. Do you know how much of a fuck up you gotta be to be on 6 departments in 4 years?
That's a flag right there.
And he got hired from department to department to department until he ended up killing somebody, getting arrested, and you know he's out pending trial?
I don't think nobody who served in the military should be able to become police.
I don't think so either, because they have this they have a combative, not a service type mentality. They have a us against them mentality.
Right. That zero tolerance shit. You know what I mean? Because they always abroad. They're not
Split
here.
second.
They always abroad. So they have zero tolerance, bro.
Yeah, split second decisions, and they always make the wrong decision in that split second. Make the wrong decision. And a decision is whether, it's not whether to kill you, it's how to kill you.
Right. But being in war, that split decision is a matter of life and death between you and your comrades, you would.
Exactly.
So it's a protection thing, but dog, you in the States. That's why I tell people, man, y'all really don't know what martial law really looks like. Like, you don't want the military rolling up and down your highway, bro.
But you know what, though, brother? We was having a discussion earlier, me and my brother Kyrie. We have to understand, if you look at the parade that Donald Trump had on his birthday during the 250th anniversary of the United States military, they did that parade very reluctantly. They didn't want to be there. And the class of people are the working class. And the people giving orders, those are the ones who making money. Do you think people are going to go kill their own families? Hell no. That's one law and that's one order they would defy. They're not going to kill their own family. So they don't got that much control over the military. People not going to kill their own family, because a lot of these people in those military got families in these inner cities.
Big facts.
Unless they drug them, they'll probably do it if they get drugged, which is most case scenario, because you have to be out your damn mind and do some of the things they do and make some of the decisions that they make. Can't be in your right mind. But in all reality, those military personnel on the fighting level, combative level, is on the same, level as we are.
Right.
They are actually pawns in the game. That's what they are.
Right.
And that's why some of them go ballistic when they find out that they're pawns in the damn game. When they just like Christopher Dorner, the brother in LA.
Yeah.
That brother learned how to kill from them. And when he came back, it became a cop in LA, and he reported his partner who was abusing somebody. He reported his partner for behaving unbecoming of an officer and abusing somebody they had stopped. And they turned on him, ruined the brother's life, ruined his career. And we all know what happened after that. The brother went ballistic and started handling what he thought was his business.
So
that lets us know.
Military vets, dog, that done served and done served, dog, and they come and they get ballistic, something happened, bro.
A lot of times they snap, my brother, when they come back. Okay, you did all that, and you come back and to see the condition of your people haven't changed. I did all this, and I'm still expendable to you. Right. Okay.
Right.
You can still do this to me after I served.
Right. How can we go and so-called free of people on another land and help build up their government and all this right here in their cities and all that? But then I come home to this fugaziness.
You know, in all actuality, robbed and stole for corporate America. That's what they did, bro. Mm. Robbing and stealing for corporate America. When they go to these other countries, that's what it's all about. Robbing and stealing for corporate America. But they just put a noble cause on it. Because if there's nothing there, the United States not going there. If there's nothing for them to get there, the spoils of war. If there's no spoils of war in these countries, the United States not going. Minerals, gold, oil. They're not going there. They'll let the people suffer if there's no spoils of war there.
Facts. Only place we will go where there's no spoils at for us is Israel.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. Other than that, United States is not going, bro.
But you gotta have something, boy. We gotta make an agreement. I need this from you. What's up? What you gonna do?
Exactly. They let the people of Darfur die.
Right.
In the 90s.
And people them come inside the United States as immigrants. Exactly. And we're gonna give them a little check to help them get on their feet so they can send money back home to help build up y'all country. But you guess what's happening? These motherfuckers getting crosshair and staying. I remember one time back, that was a big thing. A lot of the Mexicans, I remember they was hiring the Mexicans. They had a big thing where they was hiring the Mexicans, bringing them crosshair to work and letting them work crosshair and then sending them back because they were sending money back home to Mexico to build up the country and all that right there, right? But dog, you don't hear that no more. Motherfucker come across here to work to stay.
You know, and a lot of them, they come because, you know, this is the land of milk and honey. And they come here to get a certain status also. Especially from Mexico. A lot of them come here, brother, for the American dream. The American dream to some of these people is to be white.
Right, right. See, you can be somebody in America. You can be a nobody in your country, but you can come to America and be somebody.
All you have to do is put what your status is, what you feel your status is. You can just put that on the census. A lot of these cats, man, they don't put where they're from, but they're proud to be from there, but they're not there. That's a problem I have. Yeah. La Vida, Mexico. Why you not there? That's where you should be if it's so great.
And we have to convince that civil service board that our termination is not manifestly unjust. He has to testify in front of that board. And if they determine that what we've done and why we've terminated the person is not reasonable, they'll say it's manifestly unjust and give that person their job back.
I mean, aside from discipline, you also have a policy that allows you to flag officers that maybe have been involved in, something traumatic in their personal lives or something at work that has been a problem. Maybe they've been in a number of incidents that involved violence or force, and you're allowed to maybe reassign them. You're allowed to perhaps encourage them to go to counseling. Do you think that that is appropriate at this stage for this officer, given these couple of incidents?
Well, it would depend. When you have a long career, sometimes officers find themselves in difficult positions more than other officers will. Example, I've never had to use my firearm in the line of duty. I've had to draw it. I've never had to shoot anyone. I've never shot at anyone. There are some that have, because of the situations they find themselves in.
And a lot of cops, if they haven't fired their firearm in their career, they feel they failed. If they don't get a kill in their career, they feel that they failed. And he didn't fire his as the sheriff, but I guarantee you those who work under him can't wait to fire theirs. Now, the stop that we're referring to, they had their guns out on a motorist because of headlights. They had their guns drawn because of that. Not because the dude is a bank robber or a PDF or a graper or any type of heinous crime. Not because of that. Now, if it was a school shooter, they'll run away from him because they're scared of school shooters for some reason. They run away from that. Or if it's, Walmart, they hide in bushes, scared to go in. But a motorist, an unarmed motorist, they're gung-ho. Emphasis on the ho.
Look, policemen don't go out there and put themselves in a position where they have to use force. No one wants.
Did you hear what he said, bro? They don't put themselves in position that they have to use force when they constantly escalate situations. People shouldn't have to tell cops to de-escalate, because de-escalate and de-escalation is in the training. It's part of the departmental policy is to de-escalate. If you see somebody getting irate, you de-escalate. I've seen several videos where cops will intentionally piss somebody off and then ask them why they so mad, which makes them even more mad after pissing them off. And they do it intentionally. But they don't put themselves in positions for violence.
To do that. I can tell you from being involved in situations in my career that it's very uncomfortable, and quite frankly, it's scary. When it comes to his situation, we look at it, and that's why I'm building out an officer wellness section so that we can continue to identify policemen that may be having issues, whether they're home issues, whether they're financial issues. They have the ability to go meet with someone confidentially and work on the issues that they're dealing with, because I understand officer wellness is very important, and it's important for not just them, but how they function, how they do their jobs every single day.
And I think, just to the question, was the body cam shut off by the?
At some point it was, but not during the parts that you wanted to see.
By the lead officer, the initial officer?
Not during the parts that you want to see. He don't know that he's telling on his damn self. He's not showing any type of credibility. How they know what we want to see? We want to see the videos in its entirety. He said he's not going to determine anything from a clip, but they want to show us clips.
No, it was shut off later, but not. They're always shut off once the interaction's over.
Sure, but what is she referencing? Which officers?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay. All right. I've heard that on social media, but I personally don't know what we're referencing there. So
I'm not quite sure. I know that Eric pulled that out of his hat yesterday during the press conference. But I'm not sure what they're referring to.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You got into kind of a little bit of a tense exchange with News4Jack's reporter, Eric Avigné.
Mm-hmm.
He brought up the question, he asked you, whether your presentation, whether the Black community would, quote, buy it. And you kind of chastised him and said, let's not bring the Black community into this. I'm a Black man. But, there are obviously a lot of conversations in this country about, Black men particularly when it comes to pre-contextual or kind of pretext stops, like you didn't have your headlights on, you didn't have a seatbelt on. There has been observations that this stop happened in what appeared to be clear conditions. It wasn't raining, it wasn't smoky.
His car was soaking wet.
Okay.
His car just got done raining. It doesn't take away from the fact, and this is important.
Florida statute says during, not had been raining, not before, not after. It says during. You have to have your headlights on during. That means it has to be going on right now.
That it's a legal traffic stop. Even a pretextual stop is legal. Supreme Court has ruled it legal, but it's a legal traffic stop. And even if, say, it wasn't raining, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, that's a primary stopping offense in the state of Florida.
The brother took his seatbelt off when he opened the door. See, that's the thing. When you get pulled over by a police officer, whatever you do, don't take that seatbelt off, because they're going to charge you with not wearing your seatbelt, knowing that you took it off, unless you have a dash cam showing that you had your seatbelt on, and you can actually show them that your seatbelt was on, because they're full of tricks to try to jam you up. They actually think that's their job, to jam people up. But they got it written on their patrol car, serve and protect. You know who they serve and protect? Certain people. Certain people. Certain neighborhoods they serve and protect. Certain neighborhoods they do what they're doing.
Sure, but I guess what I'm getting at is those stops seem to be, at least perceived to be used primarily in conditions where maybe they don't warrant it. And I kind of think to myself, like, in what circumstance, in what universe would an officer break my window and punch me in the face?
There would probably, that's not the first time that's happened. You don't on the side of the road, you don't hold a trial on the side of the road during a traffic stop. You have obligations as a driver. Driving is not your right. Driving is a privilege that's afforded to you by the state of Florida. If you get stopped for a lawful reason, you have to comply.
Sure.
Supreme Court says if they ask you to get out of the car, then get out of the car.
But you can understand why people would have that perception, because these pretextual stops have been involved with a lot of incidents where particularly younger Black men have been stopped.
And a lot of pretextual stops are illegal, and people end up being violated violently on the side of a road, especially in remote areas. And they ask people, when they don't pull over right away, say if the cops hit their lights in a remote area, rural area, and the person keep going until they get to a well-lit area, the cop don't like that. Why'd you run? Why didn't you stop? You expect me to stop on that dark-ass highway where you could do whatever you want? You damn right I'm pulling into a gas station that has cameras and witnesses.
No, that's what you've seen. There's 38,000 traffic stops just this year in Florida, in Jacksonville, not Florida. 38,000. And like I said yesterday in county.
I think the ones we've seen are the ones that have ended badly. And so you're right.
That's what you see.
Right.
You don't see the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of successful traffic stops, whether it be young Black men, Black women, or white men, Hispanic males. It doesn't matter. When it rises to a level that there could be danger. I mean, I don't think any person that outside of some of the police officers that have retired from here have done a traffic stop when it gets really tense. And it's not an easy thing. And I'm not excusing anything. I'm saying that I go into these things very objectively, because that's my responsibility. Don't get hijacked either way.
A police encounter on the highway, you are in danger. The best thing for you to do is to say nothing. Tell them you don't answer questions. That's it. Say
I
nothing.
ain't stopping, bro. I ain't even stopping. I'm gonna turn on my hazard lights to let them know I acknowledge you behind me, but I'm about to pull into a lit area, bro.
Yeah, right. Never pull into no remote rural area. Always go until you find a well-lit area.
In fact, right, that law that we had the right to pull into a lit area is the reason why these these body cams came out also.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
the main reason. So now it gives them the right to stop you in a remote area and you don't have to stop. You know what I mean? Because you like in the South, we got these long roads. Like it wouldn't be no lit area for about a quarter mile. You know what I mean?
Especially Georgia, bro. Especially down in Georgia.
Word, bro.
Well-lit area, a well-lit area in Georgia is in the daytime. When it
It's
get
in the
dark,
daytime,
there's
brother.
no such thing of a well-lit area except for like Atlanta and those areas. But where my family's from, there's no such
Correct.
thing of no well-lit area, bro. Daytime, that's it.
Correct. The damn deers give off more lights than the road.
You better watch it. You better watch how fast you're going because they'll jump right out in front of you.
Word. Damn.
Eric's comment. Eric was there, in my humble opinion, to try to create a stir and make a story. And Eric, I've known Eric for a while. Eric's been a fairly decent guy.
Eric asks you the critical questions, the pertinent questions. He asked, did he think it was necessary for the cop to sucker punch the young brother? And this sucker, who would only excuse a sucker punch, said that it wasn't a sucker punch. That's the question he was asking him, and he tried to dodge the question, and the brother kept going back to the question because he refused to answer the question.
You got that clip?
Let me see if I can find it, brother.
Yeah.
While I'm playing this, let me see if I can find
Yeah, bro.
I think he had a goal there. And speaking for the entire Black community, where I don't think the entire Black community thinks like he thinks. I know I don't. I know my dad doesn't. I know my sons don't. There's a lot of people, because my family doesn't think that way.
This is funny here, bro. So mean you a son of a coon? That's what that means. You're a son of a coon, and you gave birth to a coon. You pass it down coonery generation after generation. Is this what you telling us, TK Waters?
Tether alert.
Y'all just gathering around singing Kumbaya, huh? Wow.
So if you're going to make a suggestion like that, you have to first realize that I'm a Black sheriff who's older than he is, who's lived in America since 1969 and been doing this job for over 30 years. And what you see and what's magnified in the social media universe is what people want you to see. And there's a lot more to every story. There's a lot more to everything that goes on when we do these things. And if you just let it lie, and what's important for me is,
I mean, you said that. Go ahead.
No,
Finish your thought.
You go ahead.
I was just going to say, you did say to him that you thought his comment was incendiary, and I think that probably Eric would say, I'm, reflecting a question that people are asking.
Well, is he speaking for the entire Black community, or 5 people that may ask him, or maybe 2 people that ask him?
Well, this has been a national story, right? I mean, CNN is requesting the video. It's not like it's just happening in a small university.
So do you want me to? I can tell you what I think about. I don't
Who
watch
speaks for the whole community now?
I guess he think he does.
What person speaks for the whole Black community? Now we're gonna use Black in this aspect in this conversation, but who speaks for us?
I think this dude think he does because what he's trying to do is deflect and say that the majority of people think like him as opposed to think like the rest of us do who's seen what we've seen. I only know 2 people that think like him that I not know personally, but seen 2 people that think like him that's that I can actually readily see. And that's him and Brandon Tatum. That's it. One's a ex-cop, Negro, and this dude right here.
Mm.
And they're self-hating. Self-hating.
Knowing damn well the church
Things
they
I
go
need
to
to know.
all police church.
Yeah, it's probably one of those type of
Yeah,
churches.
you ain't go. You going to a Masonic goddamn church? You know what I mean? Fraternal Order of Police. That's all Masonic. You done took a oath, like Big Dog Philly OG always say. You took a oath. You're not going to regular church, brother. You're not going to the AME church, brother.
I'm trying to find that that video.
Okay.
The video, the press conference of when the brother was grilling him.
Know about? I get firsthand from what's going on within the agency, within the city. I don't do that for a reason. I don't do that for a reason because I think in a lot of cases, people may say I sound crazy, but I started here in 1991, 2001, 2011, 2020, 21. And around 2018, this thing started where somehow the Black community is under siege. I wasn't a policeman when I was 20 years old. I was driving cars, and you know what happened every time I got stopped in? Every time I got stopped, which was a lot because I had a sports car, and I'd like to drive fast. I complied with what I was asked to do. I've never had a problem, never been to jail. As simple as do not empower people to ignore law enforcement, and we don't have these things that rise to this level. That's why you don't see this happen very often in Jacksonville. If I take a group of pastors and I show you one that did something wrong in Seattle, Washington on social media, and I show you one that did something wrong in New York City, and I show you something, that would paint a picture in people's mind to make you believe that pastors are just bad, especially if the news media begins to harp on it. Like the Catholic Church many years ago. I know not every Catholic priest is bad.
Sure, but there was an endemic problem there.
There was a problem, but that doesn't mean that every single one of them were bad. My point is that when you pick and choose a large nation like us, there's probably about 1 million full-time police officers in the United States of America. This doesn't happen very often. These things don't happen very often. But with the advent of social media and with the ability to send information out at the speed of the light, and everyone sees it, maybe not the speed of light, but you know what I mean. Everyone sees it without context. It gets so huge, you can never.
How much context do you need to see a window broken, a young man punched in the face, snatched out his car, head hit to the ground 3 times and just beat up, ragdoll by several cops? How much context do you need?
Put the toothpaste back in the tube.
And when you say it's never happened here before, I mean, obviously a couple names have surfaced when people are talking about this, chiefly Lakean Woods, who had that kind of notorious mugshot where he was so injured, and Jamie Johnson, who was a young man who was...
Okay, can we stop there? Can I address those?
Sure.
What we tend to ignore is Jamie Johnson tried to kill a policeman, whether it's Jesus Garrigo or not. He had a pistol on him. He wasn't unarmed. That's not true. I'm speaking about what's true. And again, when I tell you this, I don't speak about things that I'm not sure about.
What's crazy about that? He using the excuse that he had a pistol on him. Didn't say that he shot at him. He said he had a pistol on him. Just merely having a pistol on you in an open carry state is not unlawful.
Kill police. That's what he just said.
He said he tried to kill the police. He did have a pistol on him.
Police, bro. Word. That's crazy.
Didn't say that he shot at him. Just merely having a pistol. That's nonsense. See, these are the trick. We got to pay attention to the trick words that they use.
The verbiage. Like
the double talk.
Shout out to Grateful. The verbiage, man. The verbiage gotta be right.
we have to pay attention because they changed the definition of the whole meaning with one word. And they try to sway the people to think in one way with their verbiage, saying that he had a gun. And then some of our people will repeat that stupidity. Well, he did have a gun. So what? Having a gun is a right. It's a right. You can have a gun if you want to. So when somebody say, yeah, he did have a gun to justify a cop killing somebody, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. You have a right to have your gun. And I know when they encounter us, when they see us carrying a gun, they don't like it. Why? Because it's even. They hate to see us, especially us, carrying a gun. Why? Because it's even. If I can draw mine and hit you before you draw yours, it's an even fight. They hate seeing that. And it's scary to them. That's why the Hispanic Yanez over in St. Paul, the brother Philando Castile, he wasn't at that car a minute before he was shooting bullets in that car. Not even for a minute. The mistake the brother made was telling him he had the gun. Because one of us being able to defend ourselves against them is scary to them. They like to have the upper hand. That's why they swarm you like that. Even if you're unarmed, they like having the upper hand. Being able to intimidate you. That's why they'll walk up with their hand on their gun, trying to intimidate you. But if they see you with a gun, they get intimidated and upset because you're even exercising your Second Amendment.
And you know what their excuse is, bro? Oh, I was thinking about making it back home to my family.
Yeah, like you don't have one.
Like what?
Like you don't have one. You have a family.
What? Brother Nasir, I had to laugh sometimes to stop from getting angry. You know, I'm at that point now, like, I laugh and cry, bro, about some things. You understand what I'm saying, man? Because
yes, sir.
It's so easy to go blood draw.
You know what kills me, bro? When they say, well, you know, with in these times, you know, with terrorism and this and that, bro, 911 happened like motherfucking 25 years ago, damn near. And they still talking about, you know, with terrorism and all the terrorist acts I seen committed here. Why you targeting us? We're not doing that. Timothy McVeigh wasn't one of us.
Right. You know what's crazy? What came
the bombing in New Jersey and New York, the bombing in New Jersey and New York, that wasn't one of us.
Right. So
they should be looking at themselves.
Them boys came out with a law after 9/11 called the Patriots Act.
Exactly.
Where a drug dealer is considered a terrorist.
Brother, the biggest terrorist is running around here.
Facts.
Terrorizing the people.
Facts.
Under the guise of law enforcement.
Under the guise of law enforcement, underneath rules and regulations that set into play, that they put into play.
Exactly.
And it's crazy.
They're
and when they
around.
when they do something outside the rules of play, that's when a new statute come in. They make something up now. Now it's a new statute. Now we got a statute that ain't never heard of, but the common folk don't even know that they done added another statute to this.
You know how many times they added on to the Patriot Act, bro. They add on to that thing so many times.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if y'all don't know nothing about that Patriot Act, please go look that up, and y'all will see this is why they justifying what they was doing to us before all these marches start, before that that thing hit, and you know what I mean, and it separated all the marching and the protesting. But yeah, look up underneath that Patriot Act. That's what a lot of these police officers was getting off from, because it was up on the Patriot Act. Go ahead, bro.
They made mockery of patriotism too, brother, because the Patriot Act is really unconstitutional and it takes away rights. That's what it does.
Big facts.
It's taking away rights of the people.
Gives them the right to spy on you. All this now, this was snout, man.
Warrantless. Warrantless too.
Bro.
Warrantless.
Go ahead, big brother. That's it. Hey, y'all, and this is how conversations be on the phone too. Word. That's my good brother right there.
They be having they could do it without a warrant, bro. Those those investigations without a warrant.
Off of thoughts and assumptions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, brother. They can activate off assumptions. You know what? I'm gonna do a show on the Patriot side, or maybe me.
That's a good. Because I got the Constitution. I got all those amendments. I got actually physical copies of that stuff.
Okay, all right, bet.
I'm a physical copy like type person.
Okay, I know we were supposed to do a bill on what happened in South Carolina too, but bro, this right here is so heavy, and we getting good feedback off of this bill right here, bro, to where we can save that what happened here, man, with the police for another day, bro. I would love to do that bill with you too.
Yes, sir. Let's go, brother. Just you got the number. Give me a call. Let me know you want to go, and then that's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is. I want to move on. I want to move on from this video.
Nisha had dropped in the link. I think she dropped in the chat the video with the dude grilling him.
Okay. In the chat,
I think Nisha dropped it in the chat. Yeah, you can see it on your side.
No, I can't see it on my side, brother.
Oh.
If you can snatch it and send it to me on my phone, then I'll bring it over here.
I snatch it, bro. I don't know how to snatch it. Go ahead, bro. Okay.
I'm gonna go to the former prosecutor that react to the release of the body cam footage.
And now another perspective from a former prosecutor with more than 30 years of legal experience in Jacksonville. Our Sydney Deshawn is joining us now. And so, Sydney, shock. That's the word that this attorney says he felt while he was watching this video. Just shock. Tell us more.
Yeah, Jess, that's exactly right. He believes the incident is a clear situation that was a case of police brutality during what should have been a simple civil traffic stop. A traffic stop in Jacksonville is drawing national attention after cell phone and police body camera footage has come out. It shows Jacksonville sheriff's officers breaking 22-year-old William McNeil Jr.'s driver's side window and forcibly pulling him from his vehicle in February. Curtis Ballgetter, a former federal chief assistant prosecutor, calling the officers' actions disturbing.
It's a traffic stop and having
Is it me or do this prosecutor look like Peter Sutherland?
Out a window and then smacked the young man in the jaw when he's got his hands up and he's being polite.
The sheriff's office says McNeil was pulled over for not having headlights on and not wearing a seatbelt. In the body camera video, the officer is heard telling the driver to get out of the car several times. The driver did not. They also told him they would break his window. Body camera video shows McNeil asking for a supervisor, and then police break his window.
The punch through the window is incredibly violent. And then they keep punching him when he gets out. Why? There's 4 officers. They're big guys. And he's not fighting them.
The arrest report states McNeil reached toward a knife on the car's floorboard, but
that young brother's hands was up. He wasn't reaching for nothing.
He reached for a knife.
Picture him reaching for a knife when if we can't see, but if you look, you can see 2 black cops with their guns drawn in front of this car. Picture him reaching for a knife. All he's doing was asking why. And can you pull up the law that says I have to do this? But I'm going to say this to our people.
Damn.
We don't have no rights that they give a damn about. They don't care about our rights. When they come up to us, they expect us to capitulate. That's what they expect. Obey. Obey. I don't know. It's something about ID, brother. I don't know what is it about ID. They love ID. They're ID junkies.
I don't know, bro. This whole Africa, we come from Africa shit, and they being above us, that they family members brought us here. Dog, y'all better get out. Y'all, boy, listen. If y'all got African in y'all family lineage, please find it. But dog, if y'all cannot find it, quit saying it, man, because this is the type of shit that I don't care what nobody say, brother Nasir. It has to have a beginning point, bro.
Yes, sir.
And the beginning point is that they are above us.
That's what they think. That's what they've been taught. And that's what's bred in them for years.
Period.
And they have that mentality, you know, when they see us, they automatically, you ever encounter them and they automatically think they're supposed to tell you what to do? Automatically.
Right. Automatically. Like this white Jesus picture, this white God stuff, these pictures and stuff like that. Like
Before I get back to the video, I just want to say peace to Zoe with the locks, Big Dog Philly OG, Mouthpiece Hiker, IC SHQ, my brother Dre Cobbs. Let me see. My brother Kyrie, Other Enemies Public, T Wriggles, Aboriginal Truth Seeker. I don't know who's on your side because I can't read it, but whoever's over there, shout out to you. Peace to everybody. Thanks for tapping in.
Allgetter says the videos do not show that.
They're false claims. It's really a part of the efforts to justify what they've done. They beat up a young man. Let's look for everything we can to try to justify what we've done. No, the video is crystal clear. Hands are up. Knife's on the floor. He's not reaching for anything.
Sheriff T.K. Waters addressing the knife in a media briefing.
I'm not trying this case in front of the public. I'm trying to give the public the information in context of what happened. No one saw his hands at that point. Don't know what happened from there, but that's part of the investigative process.
Allgetter says even if someone disagrees with police during a traffic stop, their safety should come first.
My advice to folks is if the cop tells you to do something, do it. Deal with it later. But, you know, don't put yourself in any position where you're now in harm's way of being harmed.
Exactly what I'm saying. You don't have any rights that they respect. You don't. If they violate your rights, hold them accountable. Especially if you're one of us. White folks get in these cops' face. I know my rights, this, and that, and they back off because they're looking at their own people. They get frustrated. Let me tell you something. They get frustrated. They turn up 0.60 in 3 seconds when it comes to us. They're not going to tolerate us asserting no damn rights. They're not. I hate to have to say that to my people, but they don't give a damn about rights that we have. And they'll kill you for trying to assert your damn rights. When you got people who are on drugs, these cops, they're evil, inherently racist, insane. They don't give a damn about your rights, and they will kill you with impunity.
Armed by the officer.
McNeil's attorneys point to his injuries, including stitches and chipped teeth, as evidence of excessive force. The sheriff says the state attorney's office did not find the officer's actions violated the law, but Allgetter disagrees, saying they assaulted the driver.
Those are civil citations where you should have gotten a piece of paper saying show up in court, not get beat up. To me, it's a clear case of police brutality on what should have been a simple traffic stop, if at all.
Do you see how they do?
Hold up, bro. Rewind that back a little bit.
They'll beat you up and say stop fighting while they're doing it. Stop resisting, stop fighting while they're doing it. Just,
when them
yes, sir, I
boys
got
slammed
you.
that door, did that door bounce back open?
And again, the sheriff says officers were cleared of criminal wrongdoing by the state
Hold on,
attorney's
brother.
office.
That
Hold on,
damn
brother. I'm
door,
trying to get.
that door
I'm trying to
bounced
get it to
back
where you
open.
want it at, brother.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
looked
get it
like
to
that
to
door had
the area
bounced
you
back
want it.
open. That was crazy. When they first put them out the car. Go back a little bit more.
And again, the sheriff says officers were cleared of criminal wrongdoing by the state attorney's office. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has opened its own
It's a clear case of police brutality.
Right
Not
here.
get beat up. To me, it's a clear case of police brutality on what should have been a simple traffic stop, if at all.
No, did you see that door bounce back
You hear what
open?
they're saying, though, bro?
And again, the sheriff says
Hey.
officers.
Did you see that door bounce
They
back
probably,
open,
they
bro?
probably broke it.
Oh my
Indeed,
man, listen,
I did.
man.
But do you hear them saying stop fighting while they beating them up?
Right.
That's what they do. They'll be beating you up, saying stop resisting, stop fighting, stop resisting, stop fighting, while they're beating you up.
And the whole time, your body just reacting off of what they doing to you, and they saying you're resisting. But if I get punched,
And this is their
if I
training,
get
bro.
turned to the left, goddamn, how am I resisting if I get turned to the left and now the right side of my body look like it's facing another police officer? How am I resisting? Y'all causing all of these actions.
That's their training. They're trained to do exactly that. If your field training officer trained, I mean, if you got a field training officer that's been training like that, he's going to train whoever he's training like that. And you can see the actions of these cops that they was trained to do this by. Every one of them individually had a field training officer. And they was trained to do this. And that's not departmental policy, but it's police culture. It's their culture. I'm not saying what needs to change. What I'm saying is it needs to be an answer to that behavior.
Goddamn, get along gang. So let me ask you this real quick, brother Nasir.
I'm saying 1 second, brother. We need to have an answer to that behavior. Go ahead, my brother.
So that I'm glad you say that we need to have an answer. So that leads me to this question right here, and I'm glad you say that, man. Great minds think alike. So I was about to ask you, like, yo, so I know we was talking earlier about when they take the money, they take the gag order. They don't talk about it no more. You said it should be both. I agree. They should be able to get paid and still be able to talk about it. You know what I mean? So do you think, what my personal opinion, let me say this. When our peoples them take the money, it's like shit gets swept up underneath the rug. But if we trying to make change and trying to change shit, you got to take that and ride with it all the way up to the top to try to change some of this ordinance, some of these, you know what I mean, these statutes, these clauses, and all kind of stuff like that. But once you take that money, that whole stuff gets swept up underneath the rug.
I agree. It's, I mean,
that's
the money
not helping us. To me, that's not helping us, bro.
You're right. I agree, bro. The money is a big pacifier. That's what it is. That's what it is. And it gets, and oft times, most case scenario, you don't hear anything anymore. And justice is not, you know, justice is not reached, not real justice.
Never.
Just monetary, something monetary. That's it.
Never. Once that money going, dog, you going back to weeping.
I wouldn't feel right.
Now, if you take the money
and I would feel, and I mean, I would probably take the money and get a stockpile of weapons and start a damn army. That's what I would probably do.
That's something different, right? Or either you get the money and you start a grassroots organization to start helping change policies.
I agree with that also, but you're not going to.
Damn.
You're not going to kill my son, and that's it.
And that's
And I'm gonna be offended by you even offering me that.
For real. For real.
You know, you're not
I
gonna
would be
not gonna do that.
highly offended, like you putting a price on my child's life. So now, in other words, y'all telling me that what all these brothers been saying ever since you got a birth certificate and a social security number, they owe you money from then.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? See, all this starts to come into play in my mind. Like I started watching stuff. You know what I mean? Some things I don't understand because some people don't like to come directly out and say it. And I understand because we on this YouTube thing. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that. But I'm starting to read between lines and figuring it out for myself. And man, Trump is a civil attorney.
Yes, he is.
He's not a prosecutor. He's not a lawyer.
Litigator. He's not a litigator.
Yeah, he's a civil attorney. So they gonna beat the charge, but they just gonna kick out money. If you go back and you look, sis Nisha, you look at how much money. Just do a random search. How much money has this police force kicked out to wrongful suits that you never hear about? You'll be surprised.
Yeah, it's bro. It's in the tens of millions. It's in the tens of millions, probably like 100 million almost.
Everywhere, man, for real. They settle shit out of court. Man, they break bread with you, dog. And you know what they do to you later? 5 years down the line or something like that, they come back and get your ass on something else after they pay you.
Brother, I just, that money is, to me, bro, it's like I disagree with real justice not being served. I like real justice. This dude, like they did with what's the dude, the one who was raping the women in I forgot what, he was half Asian, half white. What's the dude name? Dale Holtzclaw. This dude going around, sexually assaulting women, and he did it to the wrong person. When she went to a female detective arrested him, and all the women that he did that to came forward. And that dude got 237 years. That's what they gave him. He was a former cop. I forgot where he was working at, but they gave him 237 years.
Yeah. When did another cop who had been there that tell on him, but they didn't believe him?
Bro, he was doing that in the patrol car, bro. Pulling women over, bro, and doing that too. In his patrol car.
Yeah. Now, Nisha. Now, see, Nisha, I agree with that, man. Like, you don't hire Trump if you want change. But now, like,
you hire him if you want dollars, not change.
Like Brother Nasir said, though, y'all gonna pay me, but yet y'all not gonna shut me up. See, the problem is once Trump get these people this money, they shut up.
That's true.
It's no more advocating.
It's conditional.
It's just like this gag order. What's that? That's something that these artists be having these girls them to sign and shit like that. So they can't talk. What they call
NDAs,
that?
NDAs, the NDAs.
Right. That's up, man. And
that's exactly what they're signing, and non-disclosure agreements. That's what they're signing. You can't disclose anything. That's what they're signing, NDAs.
Big facts. Like, come on, man. You mean to tell me, like, all of these women don't have a group in they state, like, real advocating all these men who lost kids, not having a group and advocating for this type of stuff to not happen again, and you start within your own area, and then it'll trickle on down, you know what I mean, down the line everywhere else. But man, to shut us up is diabolical.
Now,
that's our problem. We too quick to get shut up. But you know what? We'll run our damn mouth against each other all goddamn day long, to the point we pull out gun and shoot each other. But boy, when they say something, boy, we shut up.
I don't understand the incredible restraint that we have when it comes to other people, bro. But we'll do it to each other in a second. We have so much restraint when it comes to other people. A lot of restraint and patience with other people. And we're so quick to jump on each other. That never sat right with me.
Never sat right with me neither, my brother.
I want to move on from this, brother. I want to go to
it's your show. Go ahead, bro.
I want to go to some other footage, brother.
Okay, I bet.
Some other footage. It's about that case, but it's also about the tyrants and the domestic terrorists. That's what they are.
Right.
The police are domestic terrorists, and they should put on the most wanted terrorist group list. They should be put on that list.
Right.
Because that's what they do to the people. Now check this out, brother.
Go ahead.
Because you have to have some kind of crime to investigate, right?
No.
You just investigate people? You pick people out at random.
Laws, yes.
You pick people out at random and just tell them to present ID.
Do you have warrants?
No, why would I have warrants? I'm here. I'm in the gym working out.
This man was just exercising inside a private 24-hour gym that requires thumbprint access and has no staff after 6 p.m. The place is secured with serious surveillance, and this black man had been the only member inside for over 2 hours. Yet somehow a cop shows up, demands ID, and claims someone called. But the moment the officer begins blinking nervously with his hand on his gun, it becomes clear this isn't about safety, it's about control. The reason? We got a call, apparently working out while Black is now suspicious. But what's really unsettling is the officer's demeanor. From the start, he blinks rapidly, almost nervously, and his hand never leaves his gun. That's not standard procedure. That's targeted intimidation. The officer insists they received a call, but when pressed, he can't explain what the complaint actually was. He stammers, dodges, and shifts the goalposts. The man, calm and well-informed, starts asking the right questions, the kind every citizen has the right to ask. Do you have reasonable suspicion? Why are you demanding ID if I've done nothing wrong? That's when the officer's behavior becomes even more revealing. His eyes continue blinking. His hand hovers near his weapon, asking about warrants, license status, anything to shift focus. None of it connects to the so-called...
See, when they put their hand on their gun, that's intimidation. And most times, people just want the cop out their face and they just comply with things. But you have to stand at some point, you just got to be like, nah, I'm not doing nothing. You're not about to violate my rights. I'm going to invoke every right that I have. And they'll always say why you're not complying, why you're making this hard. You're supposed to always make it hard for them to violate your rights. It should never be easy.
Right. That's your right. Hey, do you want to drop the link?
Yes, indeed. I'm going to drop the link. Right. I'm going to drop the link, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, great build, brother Nasir. I appreciate you, man, for asking me to do this with you. For real.
Appreciate you for coming through, brother. Let me see. Let me play it.
Full video and judge for yourself. This isn't just a gym encounter. It's a masterclass in standing up for your rights.
So when I ask questions, simple questions, as public employees, because to be quite honest, I'm military, right? I know my rights. I know law. I study law. So I'm just trying to make sure. So in order for you to request and need my information, identification, you must have a suspicion of what? You have to have something.
We have a call. Somebody called in and said you were. Did I get this right to ID?
A suspicion of me of.
Again, she didn't elaborate. She said you're asking.
So you have no crime that you're suspecting me of, but you still want me to identify myself Investigation for what? Because you have to have some kind of crime to investigate, right?
No.
So you just investigate people? You pick people out at random?
If he realized how stupid he sounds, that you don't have to invest, you don't have to have an actual crime to investigate. He sounds real stupid.
You pick people out at random and just tell them to present ID.
Again, I just told you it's random.
You just told me you don't have you have suspicion, but you can't tell me
Now,
what.
he said he has suspicion, but it has to be reasonable, articulable suspicion, meaning that you have to articulate a crime that you suspect me of, not just suspicion, because suspicion is not a misdemeanor or a felony. And if I am suspicious, you're supposed to watch and see what the hell I do. And I don't have to help you with your investigation against me because that's called self-incrimination.
I told you a minute ago. I said we didn't just pick you up randomly.
Suspicion of what crime?
She wanted to know. No, she didn't say what it was. She said you were acting suspicious. Okay.
I've been in here for hours. Who can say I'm acting suspicious when I've been in here for literally for hours? So I would like to know what crime. I would like to know what crime I'm suspected of.
And who is the female that called?
Evidence for.
She need to be held accountable.
This country, that's the whole Nazi thing of freedom papers. We don't do freedom papers in the United States. I would like to know what crime, because I don't do freedom papers.
You're making this really worse than it is.
I'm just trying to make sure that my rights are not violated.
They're not being.
He expect this man to just comply, and the brother's not doing it. He ain't going for it.
So suspicion of what crime?
You don't give me idea now. We could be gone by now.
All I want to know is suspicion of what crime. It's a simple question. It's a simple question.
You don't give me idea.
I would like, if I'm going to give you, and that you're requesting ID because you can't demand, you can only request as a public servant.
And I'm asking.
Yes, and I'm asking you so I can properly give you identification. What crime are you suspecting me of?
Again, there's not necessarily a crime here. We're trying to ID you because we have a call on you.
There's not necessarily a crime here, but he feel he has to ID him. At this point, I'll start cussing.
That's short and to the sweet. That's short to the point. That's it.
So
we have other things we can do, man. Sitting here arguing with you, going over.
He said he has other things to do, and I would tell him to kick rock and go do those other things because you're not getting ID from me. No crime. You're not getting nothing from me absent a crime. You're not.
I know this, so why?
And all that stuff. Do you have warrants?
No. Why would I have warrants? I'm here. I'm in the gym working out.
Then we can be going, man. We got other stuff to do.
That's their favorite thing. Do you have warrants? Warrants don't have nothing to do whether or not you are violating this man's rights. He asked him, do you have warrants? That's the thing. They love to have an arrest be the result of a police encounter. They love it. He think the brother has warrants, or he wants to find out if the brother has warrants, and you don't have to ID. Minus a crime, minus a arrest. You don't have to ID, because if there was a crime, he will come up to him and articulate that crime and arrest him for that crime, and then he has to ID. Other than that, you don't have to ID.
Do you know what you are supposed to do as a constitutional person? Because you're supposed to hold up constitutional rights, right? That's your job. Yeah. Hold the Constitution.
And again,
the Constitution literally says there must be suspicion of a crime. And I would like to just know what crime. That's all I asked. And you can't even articulate clearly what crime there is, which you must do.
I never said other crime.
So
I said we have the right to investigate. When people call in, you have the right to investigate what may or may not be.
So
to me, it don't look like nothing wrong.
So I would just like to know. So if I did not have any ID on me, what would you do then?
We try to figure out a way to ID.
And how would you go about that purpose?
Because I already knew you. I already knew you.
If you already know who I am.
He knows who the man is. Then this is just harassment at this point. This is harassment.
Then why are you asking for identification?
Well, I have an idea.
Oh, so you know who I am. You're still going to ask me for identification.
I said I do.
No, you said you know who I am. I have it on recording. You said I know who I am. I know who I am, right?
I said I have an idea.
So if you know who I am, like you stated, firstly, why are you asking me for identification? I'm just trying to make sure my rights aren't violated. And right now I have this going live on Periscope because I'm trying to make sure that everyone knows that what's going on here.
That's fine. And you're not being violated. We're asking you for your ID, man. You can't provide your ID. You think you're being violated, then do what you got to do. All right. We have a job to do. Somebody called a complaint on you. So again, we work the ones. We don't know the detail. We haven't called.
Nobody called and complained on this guy being in a 24-hour gym. They're bored. The worst thing you can encounter is an overzealous, bored cop. They're going to find something to do. They're going to create a crime and subject people to their foolishness and violating them. This is a bored cop. He needs to go over to, get him a cup of coffee and some donuts or something. He's just
this
bored.
Shit remind me of Emmett Till, bro.
He's bored.
This shit remind me of Emmett Till, bro. On everything I love, dog. Because now you need to bring this female who called on me. Yeah, and she need to come front and center so I can know who my accuser is.
But I agree with that wholeheartedly. But the thing is, when somebody call, you're supposed to go to them first. You're supposed to go to the person who called first. Because why would somebody call you and send you over here?
Over there.
To an establishment.
If they're not even there.
That they're not even there. And this is a 24-hour gym. We got a lot of them around here where I live at. 24-hour gym. You use the thumbprint or the swipe card to get in. And you can work out 24 hours a day, anytime you want. And nobody called the cops over there because if he's able to get in, that means he either have a thumb passage or the swipe card.
And shit, for the police to get it, he gotta have a thumb passage too, correct?
Somebody let the cops in, which was wrong. Right. They're not supposed to do that.
So they know who this motherfucker is. That's how they know who this is. This is my bad. My apologies for the curse. Damn, one curse to this about. But yeah, they know who this person is.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And they're here merely to violate this brother's rights. That's what they're here to do. But guess what? They're going to do the walk of shame. Just keep watching.
All right. And again, you're making this way worse than it is, so you get some
there is nothing around here. There's nothing around here. This is a warehouse building, right? So no one can even see my car from here. So I'm trying to understand who could possibly call you for violation or complaint. So where did you get this complaint from? Because there's nothing around. This is not a resident. This is a commercial area. Where is there a building around or any kind of housing where someone can see my car well enough?
I can see your house.
Suspicious.
Is your first name Leroy?
I go by Leroy.
Last name.
Sometimes I go by another name, which is my married name.
Okay.
They know who he is, so they ran his license plate. They ran his license plate. These some devils, bro. These are devils.
And you already said you know who I am. So I'm trying to figure out if you know who I am. You're saying you calling about a suspicious. No, you said it's on recording that you already know who I am. So I'm just trying to make sure that we got everything comes there.
I'm assuming you came in here on your own. You have a password code in order to get in there.
This is the only way you can get in is a passcode.
No, because you let me in, and I don't have a passcode.
They're not allowed to do that. If you see the signs out front, it says you're not allowed to bus people in. And there's nobody here besides the two of us. And he came in after me, if you can ask him. So.
Well, that's all I was asking you, sir.
Okay, I'm just making sure you know. So you know all my information.
So how the hell did you get in? You just lied and said you came in the back door. He said, no, you got to get Buzz in. So if you came in like that, there's something wrong.
Somebody let him in.
Somebody let y'all in. Now I'm going to corporate. I'm filing a lawsuit on the gym. I'm trying to tell you, cuz.
And whoever that member is or employee is, if that's a member, I'm going after that membership. Or if it's an employee, I'm going after that job.
Hey,
Somebody here.
Why we gonna find out later, enemy public, that him and the girl, let's just say it's a girl, allegedly, that buzzed them in, they used to mess around and he did her wrong, so she thinks.
No, it's not that.
No, I'm just saying that. They're using some a female called on him to justify just bothering his brother, inconveniencing him. Because they do these type of things. Right.
They do these type of things when they're bored.
Right. So I'm saying the female called because she knew he was in there working out. They used to have something going on, but he probably done trash her like you a trash bag. And now she calls the police knowing he in there working out. Now she makes this anonymous call.
I don't know the scenario, but in all honesty, bro, I don't think nobody called. I think they just came. I think they just came through there. They just was bored, had nothing to do, so they decided they just gonna come in here and just bother this brother for no reason.
But somebody had to call bro, brother Nasir or something in order to let them in. Or unless they members of the gym.
They came to the door, and the person let them in, buzzed them in.
Who? I thought he was the only one in the gym.
Somebody came in after him. After him. He just told the cop, this dude came in after me. He said, well, he let me in. Somebody let them in.
Oh, rewind it back a little bit.
They probably was driving around. They probably was driving around, seeing a car outside, and decide they're gonna come into the place because a car is outside.
Right. Thinking it's a robbery. Okay.
And they're not even detectives. They're damn patrolmen. Patrol. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
He said nah because he let me in.
Right.
Okay, right there on the street.
They're not allowed to do that. If you see the signs out front, it says you're not allowed to buzz people in. And there's nobody here besides the two of us. And he came in after me, if you can ask him. So,
well, I thought I was asking you, sir.
Okay, I'm just making sure you know. So you know all my information, know everything about me as you stated. What is the purpose of this? This is what I'm trying to figure out. And you still haven't articulated clearly in understandable fashion why you're here talking to me. You only said you have a report from someone about something that you can't articulate, which has to be a crime in order for you to even be here, or serving me a warrant if you actually want my identification, which you must have in order for me to actually have to give you identification.
And it's 3 of them. So far, I've seen 3 of them. You just can't say somebody called and you don't articulate a crime. You have to articulate the crime. RAS. Reasonable articulable suspicion. You have to have. That's their departmental policy, and that's the law. You have to articulate the crime. You just can't use the umbrella.
You're stopping me from more workout. That's detaining me.
I never said you so.
So I can continue working out?
Gun the whole time.
I'm just going to make sure this stays right here. Okay.
NBA.
The NBA told you that. And when did they tell you that? When did they tell you that? Just a second ago. Okay. And how did you see my license plate?
It's on the car.
So you were looking for my license plate?
Yeah. There's a description of the car. Listen, not wanted everything's clear as far as our checks. However, if they come back that you have a suspended license. Okay, fair to comply with the courts. All right.
That's kind of interesting because a month ago I went to the NBA and got a Maryland license because I didn't have one.
Just confirmed that you are suspended.
With what court did you confirm that with?
It just says fair to comply with the courts.
So Can I ask, just because you obviously have all my information, what license number do you have?
Not a license. That's your vehicle out there.
What license number do you have?
Sir, I'm trying to explain that to you. Is that your white car out there?
You said I have a suspended license, correct?
You ran the
Okay.
tag to the primary owner. You ran a check with that name. You said your name is Leroy Grant. You ran that. They confirmed that your license is suspended, okay?
And what license number do you have? Since you said you confirmed it.
I don't have a license number.
So you confirmed it without having actually a license number to confirm.
I don't know how you can do that. I don't know how you can confirm whether somebody's license is suspended without having their license number.
Your license number is your ID number. That's like a social security number.
Exactly.
All of you.
Outright lying, bro. They what they're trying to do is find a way out of this bullshit they tried to pull. This is crazy. No number. This brother's brilliant. Leroy Robinson Grant is brilliant. How his line of questioning is brilliant, bro. He dealt with them brilliantly.
Confirm.
We confirmed it through our dispatch.
You confirmed it without having a license number to confirm.
Swear. You can do it by name, bro.
Hmm?
You can do it by your name, bro.
You cannot confirm whether or not a license is suspended by name, because I'm certain that it's more than one Leroy Robinson Grant.
Big facts.
I'm
Big
certain.
facts.
Because, bro, in my area, it's probably about 40 people with my name, bro. First and last. In my area alone, bro. So when you run somebody's license, you have to have that DL number. You can't just run a name like that and determine whether or not somebody's license is suspended. Outright lying. And they say cops don't lie and they're not allowed to lie. That's a lie itself.
Okay.
Okay. Look, you good, man? Where you working out?
Mm-hmm. You have a nice day.
I'm not giving you a citation, the officer says, barely 10 seconds into the stop. But if that's true, then why does this end in threats, force, and a woman dragged from the passenger seat? The driver pulls over without issue, explains why he briefly crossed the yellow line, and hands over his ID without hesitation. Just a calm roadside chat. The driver tries to comply, steps out, and is led away. But sitting quietly in the passenger seat is a woman, and she's about to become the center of the storm. The officer asks for her ID. She refuses, politely, firmly, because she knows the law.
She's the passenger. She don't have to present ID. She don't. Whenever there's a passenger and a driver get pulled over, you deal with the driver, not the passenger.
Not the driver. She hasn't committed a crime. There's no legal obligation for her to hand over anything. At first, the officer seems to brush it off, but then the mood shifts. Backup arrives. Another officer appears, pretending to make small talk about fishing, about lottery tickets, trying to lighten the mood.
My people, be mindful and aware of the small talk. When they come over trying to make small talk, that's called fishing. Do not talk to the police. Don't talk to them.
Small hats equal small talks.
Do not talk to the police about nothing. As a matter of fact, she should have rolled her window up. That's what she should have did. You got a right to do that. They can't tell you have to roll your window down. There's no law saying you have to roll your window down. There's no law even saying that you have to give them your license. You have to present it. You could take your license and put it up to the window, and they got to take the information down like that. It's not no law saying that you have to give them your license. They say present it.
Mood, but underneath the smiles, the pressure is building. Watch how quickly things escalate from here. Share your opinion in the comments.
Hey, how you doing today?
All right, how about yourself?
Good, I'm Chief Magistrate High Patrol. Reason I'm pulling reports back there, did you know you went across the double yellow line back there?
If I was going around the cars that were parked on the side, you have to. There's
Okay,
literally
there's still
no
plenty
room.
of room though before actually going across the yellow line. I'm not giving you a
okay.
ticket. Do you have your ID on you?
Yes.
Why didn't you stop back there when the police was?
Because there's all the lane and stuff right there, the parking lot and everything. I didn't want to block it.
If you're not giving me a ticket, why can't you just say, okay, well, I'm gonna let you go with a warning? Need my ID for that if you're not giving me a ticket.
Right.
That's the only reason why you can ask me for my license is if you're going to give me a ticket. Other than that, okay, I'm gonna let you go with a warning. That's it.
That's it.
Huh? You want to watch the lane, the turn down into the parking lot and the road right there and all that.
Oh, okay. All right. And then, do you have your ID on you, ma'am?
I'm a passenger. I don't have to give you my ID.
Okay. All right. Come on, that vehicle for me, sir. We're gonna walk back over here.
Well, he said he's not giving him a ticket, but he's making him step out of the car.
Because
So
the
I guess
passenger didn't give up no ID. Dang.
So I guess it's beyond a ticket. This is crazy.
Crazy.
Well, you know, he's not giving him a ticket. I guess they figure at least I'm not giving you a ticket. I'm just gonna lock your ass. So
Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you back there. I was looking for fish.
Oh.
You guys fishing today?
No.
now watch how he retaliate, OTK. The minute she says she don't want to talk, that's when he's going to retaliate.
Gonna ride drive through.
I got you. Dino's?
Yeah, to get my dad tickets.
Lottery tickets? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I know, right? No, he spent way too much money on it.
You keep playing, you gotta win eventually, right? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's wrong?
I don't have to talk to you. All right.
Nice to talk to you too.
Yeah. So is War okay?
Huh?
War?
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Yeah. You know horror, huh?
Yeah. Of course.
Horror must know you then too?
Yeah.
What's your first name?
Jessica.
Jessica?
Mm-hmm.
News to me.
Looking for your name.
I don't have one. Williamson. Yeah, I don't wear a name tag.
What is that? You don't want people to know who you are?
Nope. Then if you don't like me, I'll say I'm whoever I want to say I am.
Oh no, I remember faces, okay?
No, there's just nowhere to put it. And I wear a different uniform than everyone else, so.
No, I don't have to. I do know my rights. No. For what?
Ma'am, get out of the car.
For what?
Don't make it the
No,
color.
no, no, hold on a second. Tell me why. I don't. For what? Give me probable cause.
You don't need probable cause.
That's a lie.
Don't make it go this way.
Listen, that's a fucking lie.
Get out of the car.
No, I'm recording.
Do you see how fast this escalated? I mean, 0 to 60.
Yeah,
in
I
3
seen
seconds.
the other officer on the other side throwing his heads up, like, yeah, go ahead, do
Yep.
it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I am recording right now. I hope you know that. I don't have to. I am a
You can
passenger. I
firework
didn't do
in the
anything.
background.
For no reason.
For what?
He can ask you to get out of the car.
No, he can't, actually. He cannot.
Court case law. Okay, so I'll get out or I'm going to crawl up and then.
They know that it's case law that you can ask them, and they will do this to convince you, to upset you. And then when you resist, that's when they arrest you for it. It's the oldest trick in the book.
Front seat pull you out.
For what? What did I do?
Doors unlocked. All right, get
What
out.
did I do?
Get
I'm
out.
not getting out of the car.
Case law.
For what?
Refusing to get out of the car.
I don't have to get out of the car. I know my fucking rights, bro.
Get out of the vehicle before otherwise you're going to.
Sir, your lip is bleeding.
I know. Get out of the vehicle before I place you on arrest. You want to play the game or not?
This is stupid. I didn't do anything.
It's not stupid.
That's
So,
fucked up.
stop.
No,
Stop. That's
for
not how
what? Get
this
off
works.
of me.
Dude, that's not how this works.
You're not doing anything. Get off.
Stop.
Bro, stop. I didn't do it. Bro,
Thank you for watching. If you believe in holding public officials accountable and
T.
protecting your
Riggles
rights,
backstage,
make sure
brother Nasir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let
T.
me let my
Riggles
brother
singing
up.
backstage. Yeah. Good brother. Y'all come on, interact with this, man. I know my brother Nasir don't. He usually do stuff solo. You know what I mean? But he asked me to do a bill with him on this, man, and it's
Where's
gonna be more.
OTK at?
T. Riggles say he's in the back.
Where's he at? I don't see him.
Oh,
Hold
T.
on.
Riggles, beside you on, yo. You on my side or you on Brother Nasir's side? We on Brother Nasir's side streaming, so you gotta come on his side in order to log in, y'all. And you can rewind that back a little bit, man. I cut it off by talking, man, because a good brother in the back, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, this is crazy, bro.
They ended up snatching her out the car, brother.
Okay.
They ended up snatching her out the car. And
For no reason.
For what?
He can ask you to get out of the car. at
No,
any
he
point.
can't,
Yes,
actually.
He, can. It's
He
Pennsylvania
cannot.
court case law.
Okay, so I'll get out, or I'm gonna crawl up in that front seat and pull you out.
For what? What did I do?
Doors unlocked. All right,
What did I do?
Get
I'm
out.
not getting out of the car.
You're gonna go to jail.
For what?
Refusing to get out of the car.
I don't have to get out of the car. I know my fucking rights, bro.
Get out of the vehicle before
Otherwise you're gonna
Sir, your lip is
I
bleeding.
know. Get out of the vehicle before I place you on the arrest. Want to play the game or not?
This is stupid. I didn't do anything.
It's not stupid.
Back
So,
the fuck up. No,
That's not how
get
this
off
works.
of me.
Dude, that's not how this works.
You're not doing anything. Get off. Bro, stop. I didn't do it.
Thank you for watching. If you
now we're
believe in
gonna go
holding
to
public
another video.
Wow.
I think this is the one you're talking about, OTK.
I got one in the back
I
too.
think this is the one you was referring to, right?
No.
Isn't this the one you're referring to?
Okay. Where about the young boys being entrepreneurs, making their flowers from the sweetgrass plants and shit like that, man, and selling them, man. Nah.
I mean, this said a brother on video violent arrest of a 13-year-old.
Right.
Flower seller in South Carolina.
This
what
another
this
one
video
right
is.
here. Yeah, this another one.
Okay.
I had to stop the police, bro, in Blue Street.
You have an ID on you? Why? What are you doing? You're getting ready to go to jail, is why. How? How? Because I'm going to put you in that car. I do not go to jail. So you're not out here selling these roses? Yep, I am. So you're not out here selling roses? I am. You are? Do you have a business license? I don't need that stuff. You do need a business license to sell anything or a peddler's license. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And you'll go to jail for that. Listen. Don't play with things right. Do you have an ID on you?
If it was like some Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts out here selling cookies or whatever, they wouldn't be bothering them.
Big facts. They don't ask for no vendor license or none of that. No, none of
This
that.
young brother can be doing a lot worse than selling flowers.
Hey, listen, man, y'all, this is a viral trend that's going on in South Carolina because these guys right here done took the craft. Instead of making baskets, they're making roses and flowers out of these sweet grass, y'all. That's a talent.
Yeah, that's a talent.
That's a talent. Every time I see them boys, man, and guess how much they sell them for, dog? Like $1, $2. I get them boys $5. Man, here go $5, man. Just give me like 2 or 3 of them, bro.
And these
You know
cops,
what I mean? Like, come on, man. They could be out robbing your house.
exactly. These cops think it's a good idea to just bother this young brother.
Damn, they could be out there selling fentanyl to your daughter.
Yeah, they don't care, bro. You know why? Because you see who it's a young brother against the obvious.
Stop. 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 Get a handle. 20. Get a hand. Out front of Walmart.
And see how they handling him? He's only 13 years old, and look at how they handling him.
Give me your hand. Now. Give me your hand. Stop. 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 Give me your hand. Now. Give me the hand. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Now. If you don't stop, I'm going to tase you. You understand? Put your hands behind your back. Put your other hand
She's going to tase a 13-year-old. Damn she-devil.
Stop yelling, please, okay? Give me your hand. I can't breathe. You're gonna have to loosen the foot a little bit. 24, 9, so you guys get 4. 1 to tank. 1 to go. Roll. Fuck. Stay like that. Stop. Dispatch, can I get 1 more unit, please? Yes, ma'am, yeah, 4. That's a good lunch. He's under arrest for that. Dude, what is your problem? This is stupid. Just trying to talk to you.
They did all this because the young brother refused to talk to them. If they want to have a consensual conversation with you and you don't want to talk to them, this is the result, because he didn't want to talk to them.
Regular entrance, not the grocery one. We're just inside the doors. 13? You punched me in the damn eye, man. Hey, don't get it. I got it. Go outside. Calm down. Kathy, step outside. Johnny and I got
What's that boy? What's that boy mama number? Get off him. That's a little boy. That's a child.
A North Charleston police officer is on leave tonight following an incident involving a juvenile at the Circle K gas station on Rivers Avenue. Tuesday.
What's that?
This is me right here.
Yes, sir.
This is
Okay.
not Charleston. So 3 days before this happened, they was messing with them boys at the Circle K and Goose Street. You know me. Man, I whipped right up over there like, yo, what going on? Would y'all rather these boys be robbing y'all family them or something? Or selling y'all people fentanyl? I'm saying these boys got a trade. Leave them alone.
Exactly. Exactly.
They
But
left
you know,
the boys
they always try to stunt the growth of our young entrepreneurs, bro.
Right.
They see them
They
doing
left
good
them boys
things.
alone, bro. But let me tell you why they did this to him. Because he took the rolls and they had, like, you know how they got the packages of water on the outside? Like the 24 pieces of water.
Yeah.
As he was making the roses, he was sticking them inside of that. So one of the people came out like, yo, you done damaged that bag, man. You got to pay for it. So multiple people came in there trying to pay for it, but this motherfucker still just say, nah, just still going getting aggressive with it.
Or they wanted him to pay for it, but multiple people was going to pay for it on his behalf.
Pay for the water because they say they damaged the package because he was sticking the flowers inside of the package.
Yeah, I understand that. But somebody said they're going to pay for it, though, but he wanted him to pay for it.
Multiple people was going to pay for it, but they wanted him to pay for it, and they called the police. And from what I'm hearing now, I don't know for sure, but for what I'm hearing now, man, I talk to you, but go ahead, bro.
Day afternoon. Our Jesse Klinger joining us now, sharing what we know from the police report and videos circulating online. Jess?
Tessa, videos of officers arresting a young man inside the gas station are gaining lots of attention on social media. The juvenile was eventually released and no charges have been filed. But we'll show you some video from someone who witnessed the arrest posted to Facebook. You can see in this video an officer trying to handcuff the boy who's repeatedly yelling, "Get off of me," and "I'm scared for my life." 3 more officers then rush in to assist. Multiple people can be heard shouting. Now, according to the police report, officers responded to a call for vandalism just after 1 p.m. The young man was supposedly selling palmetto roses in front of the store, some of which had been stuck into a case of water. Police say the manager wanted him to pay for the water since it was damaged. The boy said he couldn't pay. The report states he then became argumentative and uncooperative. The officer radioed for assistance. The boy was then handcuffed and escorted to a patrol car. Police say he continued to be uncooperative, stating he was placed in leg shackles after he tried to kick the windows. The manager told police she no longer wanted to press charges, and police say they spoke with the boy's mother. She agreed for her son to be released.
No longer want to press charges because she knew she was wrong in the first place for escalating it to this level.
And this the kicker, bro. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I see they about to say it. The damn mama come on there and say that her son needs to seek mental health. Go ahead, play it, bro. Let's see if they fucking say it, bro. Excuse my language.
To a man who identified himself as a mental health counselor on the scene. NCPD says in a statement, quote, "This matter is being taken very seriously. An immediate internal review has been initiated and the officer involved has been placed on administrative leave." This isn't the first time that use of force has been a topic of discussion regarding the sale of palmetto roses. Last year, a 13-year-old boy was arrested at a Somerville Walmart. Tonight at 11, we take a closer look at the details of these 2 cases. Jesse Klinger.
Yeah, that's the one we just seen back to back, the Somerville on Walmart.
And let me show you, man. It takes a bunch of work, man. Look at the design inside this palmetto. See, it takes design to do something like this, y'all. These are the palmetto roses and the flowers. This is one of them. Look at the spiral around this. It has a stem up the middle, and then it's a spiral going around. Man,
that's craftsmanship right there. That's craftsmanship.
Are talented, man. Talented.
That's actually craftsmanship right there, brother. Do that like that.
And then they got the part hanging out here like a hat. Come on, man. Like,
it's crazy.
It's a trade.
It is.
Y'all mad because y'all ain't packing this yet?
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing now, bro, with the State House representative? After Jesse Jackson's son came down there last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, I had him come down there. And I pointed out and I highlighted this out to him. I said, look, man, I'm about to start something for these young brothers.
Yeah,
where they're going to start a market with these palmetto flowers.
You never know, brother. It could be a big market for them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to help these young brothers out, bro, and I'm going to start a market before somebody else try to take it away from them. I'm going to let these young brothers, man, and I'm targeting the youth because everybody that sell these dogs, them boys 15 and under.
I like that, and they're very decorative too, bro. You know, they will look nice.
I got multiple roses too. You know what I mean? All types, man. And
the video I'm gonna show you next, bro, is the one I was referring to you. The one I was referring to you about the New Mexico State Police who stopped the dudes who looked like him and didn't think nothing of it. I'm gonna show you this.
Developing tonight, state police released details on what led up to the murder of state police officer Darian Jarrett. They also released lapel and dash cam videos showing what happened. We will only be showing a small portion of the video. Here's a screenshot showing 39-year-old Omar Cueva pointing an AR-15 rifle at Officer Jarrett on I-10 just east of Deming in early February. You can hear Officer Jarrett tell Cueva he pulled him over because the tint on his window was too dark. You can also hear the officer ask if he could take Cueva's gun for his safety. Cueva gets out of the truck and shoots the officer several times within just 5 minutes of being pulled over. You can then see Homeland Security officers rush in within a minute to help out Officer Jarrett. Cueva fled. He was later killed in a shootout with police.
Officer Darian Jarrett went out there today and was serving his state, his community, the best way he knew how. And I love him for that. And everyone that's here loves him for that. And I want you guys to understand that as we get through this. But these officers lay their
A Mexican with the last name Thornton. So you know what that is.
lives out on the line every day for each and every one of us. And as a chief, it breaks my heart that I have to be standing in front of you this evening talking about this incident and what's going on. So I'm gonna get through this, and we're all gonna get through it as a family, a state police family, a law enforcement family. And I know this community is struck hard by what's occurred today. But there's a few things I wanted to say about Officer Darian Jarrett, because there's a lot more I could probably say about him, but we'll save that for a later time. And but thank you for being here, and we thank you for the outpouring of support to not only our department, but this community, his family, and what we've had to endure this evening and throughout today. So thank you.
But I really think this state trooper was set up because I don't understand how he was told to stop them by federal authorities when they could have did it. That's the origin of the situation. They knew that these the guys that killed Darren Jarrett were armed dealers. But instead of them dealing with it, they called a lone state trooper to deal with that. And they killed him.
On February 4th,
so they was looking for it. They was trying to make a motive
State Police
to get them, which they already had a motive. They know they was known, but they just put this right here so it can raise the eyes of other. And man, it's crazy. This is crazy. Like, why would you go to a lower level agency to stop somebody? Y'all ain't supposed to be clicking together.
Unless you're doing like a joint raid or something, state police sometimes get involved. But for them to have him stop him alone, to stop them alone, because there was two in the car. He should have never, especially why would he walk up knowing that, thinking that he gonna make a bust and not draw his weapon? Those are armed dealers. You get an armed dealer in New Mexico, come on, please. He should have known better. Darren Jarrett should have known better, and they shouldn't have set them out there like that. It's like the Newark cop that was killed earlier this year in Newark, New Jersey. A 14-year-old killed him because he was on a job 3 years running around with a unit that got guns off the street, a gun unit. Dude barely scratched the surface of his probational period as a cop. He shouldn't have been running around with a damn unit. And you telling me a 14-year-old got to drop on you as an officer and killed you? It's crazy.
Officer Darian Jarrett, stationed in Deming, New Mexico, was assisting Homeland Security investigations. The officer was initiated a traffic stop on a white Chevrolet pickup on Interstate 10 eastbound near mile marker 101 east of Deming, New Mexico. During the traffic stop, the driver identified as Omar Felix Cueva, 39 years of age, fired at least one shot at New Mexico State Police Officer Darian Jarrett. Officer Jarrett was struck and killed by gunfire. An HSI agent arrived on scene and notified New Mexico State Dispatch that an officer.
You know, they got there so fast, bro, as if they was waiting for it to happen. Then they swarmed. They got there fast, bro, after that happened. I'm not understanding. You know, it's like they was like watching it go down. And look, it seems to me like they was watching it go down. They responded after it went down. That's how it happened.
Was down. That our officer was down. A broadcast was put out to the state and the local law enforcement agencies. A New Mexico State police officer located Cueva traveling east on Interstate 10 near mile marker 116. Cueva pulled over at the exit and fired at New Mexico State police officers. The officers returned fire. A pursuit was initiated as Cueva continued to evade officers traveling east on Interstate 10. During the pursuit, other New Mexico State police officers successfully utilized tire deflation devices near the Pachaco exit, Interstate 10, near milepost 135 by Las Cruces, New Mexico. Cueva continued to flee east on Interstate 10. At that time, officers from the Las Cruces Police Department, the Doña County Sheriff's Office, and a U.S. Border Patrol agent assisted New Mexico State police officers with the pursuit. A Las Cruces Police Department officer utilized a pursuit intervention technique maneuver near milepost 140 as the pickup came to a stop. Cueva exited the vehicle armed with a firearm and shot multiple rounds towards officers and deputies. Officers from Las Cruces Police Department, the New Mexico State Police, Doña Sheriff's Office, and U.S. Border Patrol returned fire towards Cueva, who was struck at least once. Officers rendered aid to Cueva until emergency medical personnel arrived on scene. Cueva sustained fatal injuries and was pronounced deceased on scene by Office of Medical Investigators. One Las Cruces police officer was struck by gunfire. The officer was airlifted to a trauma hospital in Texas where he was treated and released for injuries believed to be non-life-threatening. This investigation is active and is being led by the New Mexico State Police Investigations Bureau. The identities of the deputies and officers and Border Patrol agent involved will not be released until all interviews are completed. The New Mexico State police officers have been placed on standard leave. Please reach out to the Doña Sheriff's Office, Las Cruces Police Department, and Border Patrol for administrative inquiries regarding their deputies and officers. Officer Darian Jarrett began his career as a transportation inspector with the New Mexico Department of Public Safety. He was certified as a law enforcement officer in December of 2014 and worked with the former Motor Transportation Division of the New Mexico Department of Public Safety. In July 2015, he was sworn as a New Mexico State police officer, where he bravely served until today. Officer Jarrett leaves behind 3 small children, and he was expecting his 4th child this year. Out of respect for Officer Jarrett, please refrain from contacting his family as they mourn the loss of our fallen hero. When more information is available, the state police will send out additional press release. Again, I want to thank the outpouring of support.
Yeah, that's hurting him, bro. That was his homeboy. And he know it's something.
Yeah, exactly.
Behind that, bro. You know it's something ain't right behind that.
Yeah, definitely.
He know it's something behind that, dog. For real. He hurting behind that, bro.
Yeah, Homeland Security asked a lone officer to assist them. A lone officer. He should have never pulled that vehicle over by himself. But that's what happens when you're overzealous, though, bro. You're trying to make a name for yourself. Things like that happen.
Yeah. Right.
Never do nothing like that. But he did it he tried to do it by himself, which was crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Not only to
I got a video in the back too after you finish with this, okay?
Is video in the back?
Yeah, I got one in the back. So after what you do with this, I want you to check this out.
Are you gonna share your screen?
Yeah, it's already sharing. It's in the back.
Okay. All right, no doubt.
But to our staff who's coming down here and we'll be out here throughout the week. And We appreciate you taking the time to come out here. And we want you to understand that we're here to honor Officer Darian Jarrett for his sacrifice and what he's done for this community and what he's done for this state.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing mine. Okay.
Yeah, bro was hurt, bro. He had his hat over his eyes. Bro was hurt. Hey, y'all, please share this out, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man, to the Enemy's Public, man. Brother Nasir, man. You know what I mean? Some people call him the walking history. And you know what I'm talking about? Word. Brother was there at the beginning of hip hop. Big facts.
Well, brother, you want to share your screen now?
Yeah, just go ahead and share it. You gotta pull it up. Just add to the stage.
Okay. Yes, sir. Let's go.
Check this out right here, cuz.
10 a.m. when Raymond Carter eased his black Lincoln Continental into the rest area off I-94, about 40 miles west of Lansing, Michigan. Dressed in a slate gray suit with a light blue dress shirt, he looked like someone heading to a business meeting, which he was. Slim sat on the passenger seat, neatly.
I'm still here with you, brother Nasir?
Yeah. I'm here, bro.
Oh, okay. All right, bet. You could have heard this, right?
Yeah, I was hearing it.
Okay, all right, bet.
Judge for over 20 years, known across the state for his quiet demeanor and strict sense of fairness. But none of that mattered when a white state trooper cruiser pulled up behind him, lights flashing. Inside the cruiser, Officer Jeffers narrowed his eyes. From his point of view, a black man sitting alone in a nice car at a rest stop was a cause for suspicion. He radioed his partner, Officer Reddick, who was just a few minutes behind. Without waiting for backup, Jeffers stepped out of his cruiser and approached the Lincoln. Raymond, sensing the officer's approach, lowered his window and kept both hands visible on the steering wheel. "Good morning, officer," he said calmly. Jeff didn't bother hiding suspicion. "Got a stolen vein leaving," he said, voice clipped and flat. Raymond blinked, not in fear, but confusion. "I'm not aware of any report like that," he replied. "I've just stopped here for a few minutes before heading into the city. If you'd like, I can show you my registration." Instead of taking the offer, Jeffers took a step back and placed his hand on his holstered weapon. "Step out of the vehicle. Now," he barked. His tone had shifted, no longer vaguely polite. Now it was full of assumption.
Oh, they say this jumping sound, bro. Is it skipping? To you, bro, Nasir. Oh, them boy might have clipped me. They clipped me? The chat, man, put an arrow up, man. If y'all can hear me, mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Pardon me a second, brother.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
All right, okay, all right. I'm just making sure. All right,
I'm already liking how this gonna end, brother. I'm already liking it.
Well, let's go.
Raymond's eyes narrowed slightly. He didn't want trouble, but he wasn't about to argue on the side of the road. He opened the door slowly and stepped out, his 6-foot frame calm and composed. By the time Officer Reddick arrived, the situation had escalated. Jeffers had Raymond standing at the rear of the vehicle, hands up, while Reddick looked on, unsure but saying nothing. "I'd like to know what I'm being accused of," Raymond said, still measured but with a firmness in his voice. "I haven't done anything wrong." Jeffers didn't answer. Instead, he walked around to Raymond's door, reached inside the vehicle without permission, and began rummaging through the glove compartment. Raymond took a small step forward. "Officer, I do not consent to a search of my vehicle," he said clearly. That was all Jeffers needed. "That's obstruction," he snapped. "You're interfering with an investigation." Before Raymond could respond, Jeffers grabbed his arm, twisted it behind his back, and slapped on a cuff. Reddick hesitated, but when Jeffers nodded, she moved in and secured the other wrist. Raymond didn't resist. His voice, quiet but even, cut through the space between them. "You're making a serious mistake." The scene played out in front of a few travelers who had stopped for coffee or to stretch their legs. One of them, a young college student on spring break, had already pulled out her phone and was recording. From across the lot, a retired veteran shook his head slowly and muttered, "That man doesn't look like someone who stole anything." Jeffers and Reddick didn't notice. They were too focused on walking Raymond to the back of the cruiser, as if they had caught someone dangerous. But Raymond walked with dignity, even with his hands cuffed behind his back. His head was held high, not in arrogance, but in quiet disbelief that decades of service, honors, and legal expertise could vanish in an instant, reduced to a profile and a presumption. As he sat in the back seat of the police car, Raymond said nothing. He looked out the window, past the parking lot, past the blurred trees, as if searching for something deeper than the scene unfolding around him. He wasn't angry. Not yet. He was calculating, thinking, planning. He knew something the officers didn't. This would not end the way they thought. Inside the state police precinct just outside Jackson, Michigan, Raymond Carter sat quietly in a hard plastic chair. His hands were no longer cuffed, but the red marks around his wrists remained. The booking officer had checked his ID, but didn't seem to look too closely, just typed in the information like it was another routine entry. To them, Raymond was just another middle-aged black man pulled in under suspicion. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't arguing. That made him, in their eyes, even more suspicious. People who stayed calm, who didn't get angry, were sometimes seen as hiding something. The officers didn't recognize the calm as discipline. They mistook it for guilt. Officer Jeffers walked past the holding area more than once, each time glancing at Raymond with thinly veiled irritation. Officer Reddick was quieter, staying mostly in the background, occasionally looking uncomfortable but saying nothing. Raymond had been held for nearly 2 hours. No phone call, no explanation. Just waiting. He'd asked 3 times, in a respectful, clear tone, to contact his office, explaining he had an important appointment in Lansing. Each request was either brushed off or ignored. Around him, the precinct buzzed with low conversation, the clicking of keyboards, and the occasional radio call. Other officers moved in and out of rooms, giving Raymond passing glances, but never really engaging. Some even smirked. He wasn't dressed like someone off the street. They noticed that. The polished shoes, the tailored slacks, the posture. But that just made him more of a curiosity. Someone even muttered, "Thinks he's special." He heard it, but he didn't flinch. Jeffers finally stepped into the holding area again and leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "So you gonna tell us why you were sitting there with your engine running? You casing the area? Waiting for someone?" His tone was more mocking than inquisitive. Raymond looked up, his voice calm. "I was reviewing directions on my phone. I had a meeting in Lansing. That's all." Jeffers scoffed. "You people always got a story." Reddick, standing behind him, shifted slightly but didn't say anything. Raymond didn't respond. He knew the pattern. They were waiting for him to snap to give them a reason to escalate, but he wasn't giving them that. He had spent too many years on the bench listening to stories like this from young men who never had the chance to be heard. He wasn't about to feed the cycle. After some time, the shift supervisor, Sergeant Pamela Yates, came through. She was in her early 50s, with graying hair tucked neatly into a bun and sharp eyes that missed little. She stopped when she saw Raymond. "How long's he been here?" she asked, directing the question to no one in particular. Almost 2 hours, someone answered from a nearby desk. Obstruction and vehicle match. Yates frowned and walked over to Raymond. Sir, have you been advised of your rights? Raymond nodded once. Yes, ma'am, but I've not been permitted to call my office. I've asked multiple times. She looked at him more carefully now. Something about his tone, clear, calm, precise, made her pause. What's your name again? She asked. Raymond Carter, he said, and I strongly recommend someone checks that name before this mistake gets bigger. Jeffers chuckled from behind her. He's been pulling that important man act since we brought him in. Yates shot him a look. That's enough. Then she turned back to Raymond. Let me see what we've got. She walked to the nearest terminal, typing as she went. It would only take a few minutes, but Raymond already knew what she'd find. For now, he sat back, silent once again, waiting for the moment the room would shift. It was coming. He could feel it. Sergeant Pamela Yates stared at the screen in front of her. At first, she scanned it casually, expecting to see a clean background, maybe a couple traffic tickets. But the moment Raymond Carter's name loaded in the system, her brows furrowed. A long list of credentials appeared: academic honors, legal appointments, judicial certifications, and then it hit her. Hon Raymond L. Carter, presiding judge, 14th District Court, State of Michigan.
The Honorable.
Her eyes widened slightly. She double-checked the photo on file. It matched the man.
It's the Honorable Raymond Carter. That's what it is.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I love these stories, brother. I never watched this one, but like I said, I know I'm gonna like the way it ends.
Right. You good with it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Bet.
Sitting quietly in the holding area, she looked back over her shoulder at him through the glass, then back at the screen again, blinking once as reality sank in. She rose quickly, her boots making soft but sharp taps across the precinct floor. As she reached the holding area, Jeffers was still leaning against the wall, arms crossed, looking smug. Reddick stood nearby, trying not to meet Raymond's gaze. Yates didn't say anything at first. She opened the door and stepped inside. Raymond looked up at her, calm as ever. You said you had a meeting in Lansing, she began. Yes, Raymond replied, at noon. I was invited to join a justice reform roundtable with the governor. Yates took a breath. And you are Judge Raymond Carter? He gave a slight nod. That's correct. There was a pause, and then she said, Your Honor, I apologize. This should never have happened. Behind her, Jeffers straightened up. Wait, what do you mean, Your Honor? Yates turned slowly toward him. You arrested a sitting state judge without probable cause. You searched his vehicle without a warrant, and you denied him his right to contact legal counsel.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
That shit crazy.
Her voice was steady but cold. This is serious. Jeffers' confidence cracked, acting like didn't say. You had his ID. It was your job to verify it. And to Reddick. You too. You assisted in cuffing a man without proper cause. Do either of you have any idea what this means? The silence in the room was heavy. Jeffers opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Reddick's face had turned pale. Yates turned back to Raymond. Again, sir, I'm sorry. Would you like to contact the governor's office now, or have someone drive you there? Raymond gave a small smile, not smug, just tired. Yes, I would. Thank you, Sergeant. She nodded and walked him out of the holding room. Her tone and posture now completely changed. The buzz in the precinct had shifted. Officers glanced up from their desks, confusion on some faces, embarrassment on others. The man they thought was just another quiet arrest now moved through the building with quiet power and full dignity restored. And as he exited the building with a phone in hand and Yates walking beside him, everyone left behind understood. This was far from over. By early evening, the first video had already gone viral. A 27-second clip recorded by a college student at the rest stop showed Judge Raymond Carter being handcuffed by Officer Jeffers while calmly asking what he had done wrong. The student's voice could be heard in the background saying, "This is insane. He didn't do anything." The video spread like wildfire across TikTok, then onto Twitter and Facebook, with the caption, "Man arrested for being black in a suit." Within hours, it had over 500,000 views. By midnight, it had crossed 2 million. Local news picked up the story before dawn, followed quickly by national outlets. Screenshots of Raymond's judicial profile appeared alongside freeze frames of the arrest. The contrast between his dignified appearance and the rough way he was handled sparked outrage. Hashtags like Judge Carter, Justice for Raymond, and Rest Stop Profiling began trending across platforms. Civil rights leaders, attorneys, and politicians began issuing public statements. Some called for the immediate suspension of the officers involved, while others demanded deeper investigations into the department's practices. The governor's office, after confirming Judge Carter's scheduled appearance at the roundtable, issued a short but sharp statement. "We are reviewing the incident and remain committed to equity and justice across all state agencies." Community organizations scheduled press conferences. Protesters gathered outside the Jackson precinct by late morning, holding up signs that read, "Judged before justice" and "Dignity in cuffs." What shook people most wasn't just the arrest, it was the silence in Judge Carter's face as it happened. He didn't resist, he didn't yell, he simply looked like a man who had seen this kind of thing too many times before. That quiet composure struck a nerve. He became a symbol, not just of wrongful arrest, but of how deep the problem ran when even someone at the top of the justice system couldn't avoid the sting of racial bias. Inside the precinct, the mood had shifted dramatically. Officer Jeffers had been called into an emergency review meeting. Reddick remained mostly silent, shaken. Sergeant Yates fielded calls from internal affairs, the media, and legal counsel. She was now cooperating with the state attorney general's office. No one laughed or smirked anymore. A copy of the viral video had been sent to every computer in the building, and many watched it with tight jaws and quiet shame. Some younger officers, especially those newer to the force, whispered to one another about whether this might finally be the moment something actually changed. For once, the system had turned its spotlight inward, and this time it wasn't going to look away. The next morning, the rotunda of the state capitol was unusually quiet. Reporters lined the marble hallway outside room 312, where the Justice Reform Roundtable was about to begin. Cameramen adjusted their tripods while aides whispered updates into their phones. The governor's staff had already arrived, along with members of the state judiciary and policy experts. But all eyes were on the large oak double doors, waiting for the man whose name had been on every screen for the last 18 hours, Judge Raymond Carter. At exactly 10 a.m., the doors opened. Raymond walked in, composed and focused, wearing a crisp dark blue suit, the same leather portfolio in his hand, and that same quiet dignity he had carried through the arrest. The room hushed. For a moment, the noise of politics faded into something more human. Everyone stood, not because protocol demanded it, but because respect did. He gave a short nod and took his seat at the head of the table. The governor, seated across from him, leaned forward and said, "Judge Carter, we're honored to have you here." Raymond responded with a simple, "Thank you, Governor. I believe the timing speaks for itself." Before the discussion on policy could begin, Raymond requested to address the room. Yesterday morning, he began, on my way to this very meeting, I was stopped, detained, and handcuffed by 2 officers of our own state police. There was no warrant, no probable cause, only a baseless suspicion tied, I believe, not to my behavior, but to my appearance. The video speaks for itself. His voice was steady but carried a gravity that filled the room. This isn't just about me. I'm not the first person this has happened to, and unless we act, I won't be the last. Across the table, several officials nodded quietly. One younger assemblywoman wiped away a tear. Raymond continued, "We speak often of trust between law enforcement and the community, but trust cannot exist without accountability. And dignity, especially the dignity of innocent people, cannot be optional." After his remarks, the agenda shifted. What had been planned as a technical discussion about training standards and hiring practices became something far more urgent. Video clips were played, legal experts weighed in, and civil rights leaders were called into the room. Then came the moment no one had expected. An emergency hearing was called to begin the review of misconduct charges against officers Jeffers and Reddick, and Judge Carter himself was appointed to oversee the session as a neutral authority. He hesitated at first, wanting to avoid any perception of personal bias, but after the governor's legal counsel confirmed that no ethical barrier existed, Raymond accepted. 2 hours later, in the lower chamber, the officers entered a formal review session, packed with media, state staff, and a few community members who had managed to gain access. Their usual bravado was gone. Jeffers looked pale, his jaw set tight. Reddick kept her eyes on the floor. Raymond sat at the center of the panel, flanked by 2 other judges and the state attorney. "We are not here to relive public embarrassment," he said, opening the session. "We are here to evaluate conduct and determine whether the actions taken violated both legal standards and human decency." Video evidence was reviewed again, along with reports from witnesses, timestamps, and body camera footage that contradicted the officers' written statements. Reddick, when pressed, admitted she hadn't reviewed the ID or run the name in their system. Jeffers tried to argue he followed procedure, but his voice shook under cross-questioning. When asked why he ignored the request for a phone call, he stumbled through an answer about departmental discretion that didn't hold. Raymond remained professional throughout, but his tone never softened. The authority in his voice made it clear. The days of casual abuse and unchecked power were ending. Starting now, starting here. The review session ended just after 5 p.m. The panel of judges, after hours of evidence, witness accounts, and legal review, reached a unanimous decision. Officers Jeffers and Reddick were found to have acted with negligence, violated protocol, and failed to uphold the basic rights of the individual they detained. The ruling recommended both officers be suspended without pay, pending a full investigation by the State Attorney General's office. The official wording was clear. The incident reflected a misuse of authority, grounded in personal bias, and a dangerous lapse in professional judgment. When Raymond read the final recommendation aloud, the room was silent. Jeffers didn't say a word. His mouth was tight, his eyes locked on the table. Reddick nodded slowly, as if accepting a truth she had already known deep down. Cameras outside the chamber caught every second of their exit. Protesters who had waited all day quietly stepped aside as the officers were escorted out of the building. There was no cheering, no shouting, just a heavy silence, the kind that lingers after truth has finally been spoken. At a press conference held later that evening, the governor stood at the podium, with Raymond standing quietly beside him. "Today was not about revenge," the governor said. "It was about responsibility." Judge Carter demonstrated the restraint and professionalism that every public servant should aspire to. But it should never have been necessary. He went on to announce new legislation being introduced, a mandatory statewide training program focused on de-escalation, racial bias recognition, and legal rights. In addition, the governor proposed forming an independent oversight committee to investigate future complaints against law enforcement across all counties. The press asked Raymond if he wished to comment. He stepped up to the podium briefly, eyes steady. "What happened to me happens to people without a camera watching, without a title behind their name, without someone to speak for them. This isn't just my story. It's a symptom of a deeper wound. But I believe wounds can heal with enough sunlight, truth, and accountability." The words struck a chord. Within a week, departments across the state began auditing past arrests. Community town halls were organized. Legal clinics offered free counsel to citizens who believed they had been unlawfully detained. And across social media, the image of Judge Carter standing in the Capitol, not angry, not vengeful, just firm.
Wanted to try tirzepatide?
So this is tirzepatide, and it is the #1 weight.
Became a symbol of justice done right.
You think so far, brother Nasir?
Yeah, I'm loving this story, brother. You know, it was it's well narrated, very well narrated in detail, brother.
Yeah.
Feeling it. I mean, I like these stories. It's been several I watched. I never seen this one, but this one was good also. This one's good. Feeling it.
As for Jeffers and Reddick, their suspension triggered an internal review not only of their actions, but of every case they'd been involved in over the last 3 years. Mistakes began to surface, patterns that had long gone unchecked. Raymond, meanwhile, returned to his courtroom. He never once brought up the incident from the bench, never showed special favor, never shifted tone. But those who entered his courtroom now did so with a new awareness. They understood something important. Justice wasn't just a word carved into stone above the courthouse door. It was a standard, one that Raymond Carter was determined to uphold, even when it meant standing alone. 3 months later, on a bright spring afternoon, Judge Raymond Carter stood on the wide stone steps outside the Michigan Law Enforcement Training Academy. The trees nearby were beginning to bloom, and a soft breeze moved through the line of flags overhead. In front of him, a new class of cadets stood in formation. 52 recruits, dressed in crisp uniforms, eyes forward, shoulders squared. This was the first graduating class trained under the newly implemented bias awareness and accountability standards. Each cadet had undergone extensive courses in community engagement, de-escalation strategies, and constitutional rights. The reforms, once seen as controversial, had become a cornerstone of modern training. And it all started with one video, one moment, and one man who chose to stand firm. Raymond had been invited as a guest speaker, though he had turned down several public appearances since the incident. This invitation felt different. This wasn't about cameras or headlines. It was about planting seeds where they mattered. As he stepped up to the podium, the academy director gave him a respectful nod. Raymond adjusted the microphone and began in his calm, steady voice. 3 months ago, he said, I stood on the other side of a badge. I was treated not as a judge, not even as a man, but as a threat based solely on a glance and a guess. That experience could have made me bitter, but instead, it made me more committed. Not to punishment, but to purpose. He paused for a moment, letting the words settle over the group. You're not just here to enforce laws, he continued. You're here to protect dignity. That starts with how you see people, every person. Not as a risk, not as a statistic, but as someone's father, sister, neighbor, or friend. The recruits listened closely, their expressions more thoughtful than formal. A few nodded subtly, absorbing the weight of his words. Raymond looked out across them and felt something shift. Not just in the air, but in the room, in the culture. There was a seriousness in their eyes, not fear, not pride. Just readiness. After his speech, the cadets filed out in pairs, heading toward their families waiting just beyond the training field. A young black recruit paused and turned back. Thank you, sir, he said simply. Raymond gave him a small nod. Go serve with honor. As the crowd thinned and the sun dipped lower, Raymond remained on the steps for a few more minutes. He wasn't thinking about the past anymore, not the handcuffs, not the cold chair in the precinct. He was thinking about what came next. Change didn't always come with noise. Sometimes it came slowly, in small moments. One decision, one voice, one classroom, one step at a time. And in that quiet space, Raymond Carter allowed himself to believe. Maybe, just maybe, justice was starting to rise on a new kind of foundation. One built not on fear, but on fairness. Raymond Carter walked away from the steps of the academy that day not as a victim, but as a builder of something better. He knew the journey ahead wouldn't be easy. True reform never is. But he also understood that real change starts in the quiet decisions we make when no one's watching. His story is a reminder that power doesn't always shout. Sometimes it stands still, speaks calmly, and waits for the world to catch up. In a country still wrestling with deep divides, Raymond's strength came not from anger, but from purpose. We all have a role to play, whether in a courtroom, a classroom, or our everyday choices. Justice begins with how we treat each other, especially when we think no one will notice. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you think, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more powerful true stories that challenge, uplift, and remind us of the quiet heroes among us. Because sometimes, the strongest stand is the one taken with calm, clarity, and courage.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And I know you said that this was not
Peace and power. Peace and power to the brother.
First of all,
peace and power to the brother Key Norfolk.
not a sucker punch.
Oh,
I'm not
that's
excusing that
this,
administratively.
this is the video of the brother
Say it to you one more.
reporter grilling the sheriff right here. This the one right here, bro. Can you run that back a little bit? Because this is the video of the brother reporter actually grilling. I like this dude to tell our house. He does some good research. I like his
Taylor
videos.
House. Yeah, I rock with him too. And this just came up next, I guess, since we was talking about it, huh?
Yeah, and it's it's in that category. You know how they do it, brother. It's in that category. You know, that's
Yeah, and
you
they
know,
listened too.
he said it's not a sucker punch, but the brother didn't let up. He didn't let up on those questions. He went to other people, and every time he came back to him, he was like, "Look, man, what about the sucker punch, man? I'm not letting it go." He was adamant about getting to the bottom of that damn sucker punch.
All right, just let me know when you want me to stop it, bro. Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
First of all, let me stop you. Not a sucker punch. I'm not excusing that administratively. I'm going to say that to you one more time. I'm not excusing that administratively. There are things that we definitely need to look at. But the context of this video should tell you everything you need to know.
Well, again, I take it. It looks like it's a sucker punch because he's looking straight and you see this.
Right.
Okay, and then you see the pull of him out. And you see a couple of punches to the face. Now, again, I understand breaking the window, but he charged him with resisting arrest without violence. So I saw a lot of violence. I think the public saw a lot of violence against somebody that was not violent.
Well, first of all, Eric, don't try to talk the public into what they saw. They just.
All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings.
You can stop it now,
praises
brother.
To the Most High. And what we have here is the buck dancing, step and fetch it, Uncle Ruckus, Sambo.
Yeah, I mean, he was just trying to cosplay, and he knew. He tried to say, well, don't try to tell the people what they saw. And in the same breath, he says that what the people actually see through the body cam footage. And the body cam footage don't show us anything. But a FOIA request will get the body cam footage of the officer who actually struck him. It probably don't give us context like the brother's video, because the brother videos clearly see who broke the window and who punched the brother, and it was the same person who broke the window. The same one who's a problematic officer, internal and external. He got charges and complaints against him, internal and external. But I think you know, we've done a good job, and we can land this right here, brother. We did a good job with our presentation and our dialogue, and I appreciate you doing this with me, and I appreciate everybody for coming through and hanging out with us.
I'm going by quick.
Yeah, brother. I mean, it's been almost 4 hours, brother.
Work in the morning. You already know, baby.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
Right. I appreciate you too.
And I'm looking at that dude, man. That dude is, you know, that sheriff is 3 years younger than me, bro.
Wow.
He's 3 years younger than I am. And I'm like, whoa, that dude he don't look like he's 3 years younger.
Yeah, because all the bullshit he been seeing, all the corrupt shit he been seeing, and been keeping turning the blind eye to.
When he said he was born in 69, I was like, what?
Every president going the damn president in the White House with black hair, them bitch come out, gray hair out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He said he was born in 69.
Yeah.
Wow. He's, you know, that's the life. That's the life he lived, brother. And I appreciate it, brother. You know, I'll definitely be in touch. You know, we gotta do more of these. We gotta do more bills. We gotta do that other one we talked about. You know what I'm saying? And,
yeah, definitely. Man, I appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and close out, man. I appreciate you for doing this too, man, and bring me up, man. Definitely a different aspect. You know what I mean? You know, something everybody can relate to.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's definitely a situation everybody can relate to. You know, shout out to you. Shout out to Big Dog Philly OG. Shout out to Hurricane. Shout out to Greedy. All y'all brothers, man, doing the information that in Key Norfolk, doing the information that everybody shall agree upon.
Yes, sir. That pertinent information.
Right. Pertinent. Accountability information.
Yes, sir.
Credibility information.
Stuff that we can use, you know. I mean, I don't want to talk about nothing that I can't use, bro.
Right.
You know, I don't want to talk about nothing that our people can't use.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man, for letting me come on so people can see another side of me, because some people might have met me going ballistic and AWOL.
Yes, sir.
I'm passionate, you know what I mean, and all that. But man, Enemies Public, appreciate you, bro. You already know.
Yes, sir, brother.
Ain't nobody told you that they love you today, brother, and your family, man. I love you, my brother. And nothing but peace and blessings upon you, man.
Love, honor, and respect to you too, my brother. Salute to you. I want to say peace and power to my brother Key Norfolk, Cosmon, peace family, Aboriginal, Truth Seeker, Nisha, thanks for joining us, sis. I appreciate it. My brother T. Wriggles, my brother Straight Smoke, my little sis Sharice the Realist. Mike Dollar, thanks for tapping in, my brother. Mike Dollar. Let me see who else we got here. My brother Hiker, thank you for tapping in. Appreciate that. Mouthpiece. ICSHQ. Thanks for tapping in. My brother and comrade, Dre Cobbs. My comrade, Greedy Vegan. My comrade, Big Dog Philly OG. Thank you all for tapping in. I appreciate it. Thank you to my better half, my wife. She's always watching. I'm on the way, darling. I'll be there in a few minutes. Engine Radio, Chief Eagle Eye. Thanks for tapping in. King Deuce, Copper Draco, Zoe with the Locks. Thank you all for tapping in. I appreciate it. Until next time, this is the Enemies Public. I am Brother Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Enemies Public, I saw your thing on YouTube, man. Keep doing your thing, bro.